Welcome everybody to episode 141 of the China Show, also previously known as ADV Podcasts. We've got a fun one for you today. Rather than focus on the doom and gloom, which is the absolute train wreck of this COVID outbreak in China.
Which we will cover.
Yeah, we will cover it, but rather than focus on it, we decided that we'd focus on some more lighthearted stuff.
Except you know what we're going to do?
What?
Right in the beginning is focus on it. Because that's the way I made the show.
Okay. Well, anyway,
but there's some funny stuff too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of funny stuff. Anyway, welcome everyone. We're so glad to have you here. Let's saunter right into it with what's new. So, what is new is our segment about what's new with regards to China.
You know what's new with us?
What?
We got some haircuts. I just wanted to be the first person to point it out.
Oh,
Because everyone, if I say it now, then everyone won't have to say it throughout the entire chat. Because literally, people talk about it for like 20 minutes.
But I don't understand why. Anyway, I didn't get a great haircut this time, I'll be honest.
What I do want to say is
my hairdresser was so slow.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't slow, but you know what he did?
What?
He said, "What kind of haircut do you want?" And I said, what's in style, right? And I also said, please don't make me look like Hitler's Youth. That's what I said. I said, please, anything but a fascist haircut, no Hitler's Youth. And he said, I got you, fam.
Yeah.
Whole lie in the end.
He kind of made you look like Kim Jong-il or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hitler's Youth, but anyway, that's on him.
That could be such a bad sitcom, Hitler's Youth, and it's like like the Wonder Years, but it's Hitler.
It's him when he's a kid.
Yeah, it's Hitler's Youth.
It'll be the worst show.
It'll be the worst show. Anyway, guys, let's get straight into it. What have we got lined up? In fact, where is the thing?
You didn't even load the media pack.
Getting there. Here,
Okay.
it's 141, right? So,
You know what's?
what did you call it?
Did I even put it on there?
I would hope so.
I think so. Hold on. It's called 141.
So I'm not seeing it there.
Technical difficulties. I did put a soundbite on there, which we'll look at later. Why don't you throw some soundbites at people?
Well,
while I figure this out.
I want to put something up there.
No, not what you think.
Yeah.
Put something else up there. It's an old favorite.
Oh, you mean like this one?
Yes, younger and beautiful.
Oh, I love the lag because I can't hear the sound. We can't hear the soundbite in the studio, but we can see it, and it's just this lag woman, Sada AI. By the way, for those of you guys that didn't know, that AI. Can you play it again?
Oh, what, this one?
Yes, younger and beautiful.
Turned out to be, if you missed the last episode, turned out to be an Unreal Engine asset.
Yes.
Just a downloadable asset that Huawei's
It's like it's a plugin for Unreal, the Unreal Engine. It's called MetaHumans, and you can design your own human to go with it. So they can't even generate their own stuff.
Right.
Anyway, is that copied over?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so I should be looking for it, and it should be where?
It's on the the normal place.
Okay.
It was on the top.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Finally. Okay, now we can really get into it, guys. Sorry about the delay here. Let's get us in there.
Ichikami says, ADV talking about Hitler sitcoms, not knowing there actually was one. There wasn't it in the 80s or whatever?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was about Hitler as a little boy, and it's making fun of him or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ah, what do you know? Anyway, what have you got to say about this?
Okay, first off.
Yes.
This is a picture of the PLA. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The People's Liberation Army. I gotta say, those have got to be the worst camouflaging uniforms I've ever seen. It's can you see me? It's please look at me in the battlefield.
Sure.
How would you blend in anything? What are you, swimming in the sky?
No, if you drowned in the sea.
The sea
you wouldn't be able
that
to see.
shade.
No, you wouldn't be able to see him in the sea. I don't know, but quite honestly, usually that kind of camouflage is in snowy conditions, but it's a lot more white.
Yeah, I thought it was mostly white.
It's not supposed to be all blue. It's supposed to be more white and little flecks of blue in it. But anyway.
Anyway, so this
if you're colorblind, on the other hand, it'll work well.
If you're colorblind, it'll work great. This is a G36 assault rifle, and it turns out it's a AliExpress toy gun.
Yeah.
And the toy gun is being used in the photo to promote the People's Liberation Army. Thought that was great.
Oh, they're actually using a toy gun. They're using the toy gun in the photo.
In the photo. Yeah, that below that is the ad for the actual gun, the toy gun that you can buy.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that nice? It's a cosplay for PUBG. They're using that in actual propaganda.
That's correct.
Which I always love to see.
Saw this shared by a BBC journalist in China.
Edward Lawrence.
Yeah.
The guy that got manhandled in Shanghai.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it says, it's forbidden to take a dump. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, it literally says it's forbidden to poop.
Yeah.
It's really
That's
disgusting.
what it says. Forbidden to poop. It's really disgusting is what the sign says in the window there next to the toilet. Now, hey, you might think this is weird, but several, especially bars and clubs that I went to in Shenzhen, they would have signs above the toilet that you may not go number 2.
For sure.
In other words, the toilet's only for taking a pee. You
Yes.
may not put it. You may not do anything else in there.
That's correct.
And that's because the plumbing is horrendous.
Yeah.
You know?
What was I gonna say? Oh, this looks like they're trying to keep it clean, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually dirty. It looks dirty to me.
It's pretty dirty.
And it still has, like you said, it still has the bin.
Yeah.
To put your toilet paper.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me because
If it's forbidden to poop.
maybe
'cause
women
for
can
women. Yeah,
wipe.
that's true. That's true. I didn't think
Whatever the case.
And always the bucket with the spigot.
Yes.
Always.
Always.
In a Chinese bathroom.
Anyway, so just thought that was kind of fun.
So it's like, like it's kind of like you're not allowed to poop.
You want to
It's
learn
very
a little
gross.
colloquial slang?
What?
Well, you know, like "soy ni bien" means like up to you, basically. So you know, like if you're walking around and someone's like, "What do you want to have for dinner?" You say, you know, KFC or McDonald's. That's "soy ni bien" means whichever one you want. So
or sui bien.
soy bien.
bien ni.
Soy bien. Yeah, okay. Da bien means take a dump. Xiao bien means take a pee, right? So
what's the low class thing you're about to say?
yeah, exactly. So if you're just hanging out with friends and they're like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" You can "soy ni da xiao bien," you know.
Means like whatever poop or pee you want. It's literally like a child would say that.
I know.
Yeah.
Remember when I said it to that like hotel clerk or whatever when we arrived?
Like she was impressed.
Because we were so like knackered from that long ride, and I don't know why I said
slipped
it.
out.
Slipped out. She's like, you know, what size, what floor do you want your room on or something? And I was like, "Suni da
Whatever
xiao bien."
poop or pee you want. That's literally like a 5-year-old would say that.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. Anyway,
it was.
let's move on from that. Yeah.
The best sellers. And this is something I saw when I was in China too.
Yeah.
When I lived there, when this book came out, it's called The Governance of Xi Jinping. It's like his manifesto.
Yeah.
Or it's just a super boring version of kind of Mao's.
By the way, this is such a dog whistle. If someone's got this book on their bookshelf somewhere, be aware. This dude is like a
turn around. Get
yeah. This
out.
guy's probably a mad like tanky sympathizer or something. 'Cause-
GTFO.
Yeah, get it. Just unfriend them.
Unfriend them. Yeah.
You know?
Anyway, I used to see this, and I would go by. Bookstores are already heavily censored in China. Like you're not gonna find anything interesting.
Yeah.
But what I would see, I remember last time I saw this was in the Guangzhou airport, and the massive display, and it was the whole bookstore was just the Xi Jinping book, Governance of Xi Jinping, the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
One side was Chinese, one side was English.
Yeah.
And so here you can see this in the bestsellers category. Nobody buys this.
I think
one
it's
buys
mandatory that like schools and government offices have to buy it or something.
Of course,
or-
but this is not a bestseller.
no,
Nobody
but
in
if the
China's
government says it's mandatory to buy it, then it is a bestseller.
I think it's more like they're just saying it's a bestseller.
True. Now, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think it was made mandatory that all bookshops had to display this at some point.
I'll be honest with you. I think that's, even if that's rumor, it's got to be true because I saw it in every front of every bookstore.
Me too. It was everywhere. And they still promote it all the time.
Yeah. The more importantly is the next picture, which is connected to this.
Okay, let's move on to the next picture, shall we?
And that is, this is a bookseller in China that chose, because he obviously has to display this, right?
Yes.
He displayed the governance of Xi Jinping along with Nazi books.
Yeah, I see
Adolf
this.
Hitler's biography.
Is it
and-
Mein Kampf up there somewhere?
Yeah, books about Nazism. He put them together, and I think he did this on purpose to make
You
a
think
little,
so?
a little statement.
Oh, I mean, like in China, a lot of people I spoke to respect Hitler.
Oh, he's very well admired there. I
Yeah,
was
so
shocked.
maybe he actually didn't, unironically did it because he liked two strong leaders.
Yeah, that's another sitcom. Two strong men. It's like little Xi and little Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Being best buddies.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Why would anyone buy that? Said O. Doyle rules. Well,
When you're told you have
question
to.
is good as mine. I was gifted it.
Yeah, I would never buy that.
No, I was gifted it.
I remember that book was in your like drawer at your house.
I told
in
you I was
China.
gifted it.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
My like perception of you dropped by like minus 1,000 when I saw that, and then I was like,
I mean, to be fair, I want to understand things.
I get it, but man, to own that book, how boring.
I didn't buy it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I know you've got a good explanation for it.
Sure.
I'm just like, if someone actually goes out and buys that book,
I believe my father-in-law bought it for me.
dude. I mean, it's the same as going to go read a biography on any like leader or something. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of boring.
Yeah, it's
go read an
less,
encyclopedia.
It's
I don't
less
know.
like that because it's like self promotion. It's not like, I don't know how to explain. Like a self-written biography. It's not a biography.
No, it's not a
his
biography.
governance style.
It's kind of like reading, agricultural pesticide formula.
Yeah.
Like if somebody went out and bought that book and actually read through it.
Right.
It's like, to me, it's the same boring.
It's like an instruction manual for a psychotic dictator,
Yes.
but without any of the interesting stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, what have we got here? This is something that somebody sent this to me. And I was like, okay, again, China right now, by the way. Yeah. China is doing that thing where
This is one of my favorite features of propaganda.
they're reopening, right?
Yeah.
When they say, by the way, okay, a lot of the world right now, due to the let's get real here for a minute, but
Sure.
the world right now is a little concerned. Many countries are like, listen, we should probably have some restrictions on flights coming out of China for a good reason, and the reason is about 90% of the population is infected with COVID right
That's
now.
wild. We'll go through the numbers in a bit.
But like a huge majority of the population is infected.
Everyone I know has it.
Every
Every single person.
Exactly, me too. So the majority of the population is infected. So surely you don't want infected people coming in and bringing and spreading infection.
I don't want infected people bringing in infection, but don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like right now it's probably a good idea to have quarantine in place for people flying out of China, or tests, mandatory tests. Of course, China's jumping out and saying that's unscientific and don't
This has
be...
nothing to do with Chinese people. It's
Yeah.
anyone coming out of mainland China where there's an outbreak. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
And you, China, blocked all people for 3 freaking years, so shut up.
Not only that, China still, even when they're like opening up, still you have to get
Have
a
a test.
negative test before
So
you're allowed
who
to fly in.
cares?
So they're doing the exact same thing
Yeah.
that they're like telling other people you're bad doing it. Anyway, just wanted to say that. But apparently, you see, from January 8th, they're going to open things up and allow people, as long as you've got negative test, to fly in. So because of this, they're going into overdrive trying to sell promotion for tourism. And this is one of those things.
Yeah.
So it says, hashtag Dongying has launched 16 wetland remediation projects in the hashtag Yellow River Delta National Nature Reserve. Blah, blah, blah,
We
blah,
went near
blah,
here,
blah,
it's in
blah,
Shandong.
blah, blah. Yes, okay.
Doesn't look like that.
No, but that's the fun part, is that they release these photos, okay, which you got to see for yourself. Like, what is wrong with that picture?
What? I mean, that's saturation plus 10,000.
Look at this nonsense. This is saturation turned up to 11, okay? Because you know that it's nothing looks like that in nature. That green and all that, the red. We've seen that red stuff. We went there, right?
Yeah.
I like how they're trying to say, oh, we've got birds. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, just the saturation levels. It's insane. I love this. Is my favorite. It's just like,
I really like that one. I like the first one.
oh, the
Just
first one.
the sheer red of this is blinding.
Oh yeah, the red.
I mean,
you can see how it
overblown.
bleeds.
Yeah.
It bleeds out. They've done it too much, and it looks like the ducks or whatever they are, those egrets or whatever you call those things.
Cranes,
They've got green feet or something because
they didn't use a brush. They just did the whole thing.
yeah, they just satched the whole thing. It's like satch turned up to 11.
I took a couple photos that I wanted to share.
Yeah.
In the same vein.
Okay. So
This is near our house. Just
Yeah.
wanted to show a beautiful day.
Yeah.
This is during autumn.
yeah, just outside our house here in Pennsylvania.
I didn't want anyone to think that I was making fun of China's technique because I tend to do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a photo
it's a photo of us, that was taken in northern China.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just how it looks.
Yeah,
not
that's
saturation.
natural. It's
Yeah.
totally natural. Anyway, that's kind of funny. So what's going on with this?
This is a great translation movement. Someone posted on our subreddit, reddit.com/r/ADVChina. It's free to join.
Yes, please pop over.
Yeah. So basically, this was a post talking about someone trying to leave, right?
Yeah.
says, "Hi, I am COVID-19 positive for days, and I need to leave China on December 20th, 2022. Will I face any troubles if I write my health info truthfully? I left China. I truthfully wrote that I was COVID-19 positive, and then the airport staff member told me to change it. Haha. I could not write things truthfully. The airport staff member told me to write no for all the questions." We're now at a point now where China went from COVID's not from China. It's all the rest of the world's problem. We locked down arbitrarily people in the houses for 3 years.
Yes.
Then we just say, no, you're fend for yourself. It's done, right? Now you can't say you've died from it or have family members or know anyone that's died from it.
Yeah.
You'll see later they're literally sending police to funeral homes to block people from entering so that they don't see the dead bodies.
I really don't like what's going on right now because it seems, and this is what I'm picking up from all of this, is that the Chinese government is actually trying to encourage the spread of COVID abroad. Yeah. In the rhetoric that you're reading, the Chinese Foreign Ministry today released something, a thing on Twitter, a statement saying, leading scientists have found that there's no need to restrict travel from China. Follow the science, that kind of thing. They keep saying follow the science no matter what is going on, whatever suits them. But they're trying to make sure that there are no restrictions in place. Yeah. They're trying their best to get infected people to go out there.
Even though you need to have a negative COVID test to go into China.
Yeah.
So where's the logic?
It seems like they're trying to pressure the rest of the world to allow infected people to travel unabated.
I think it's more like trying to pressure the rest of the world just to bow to their whims, that they have more leverage over every situation.
It's just weird because, with all the talk of precaution and, everything they've been trying to say about controlling the spread of COVID and all of that, it's only, of course, to do with China. They don't give a shit about the rest of the world. In fact, it seems like they're encouraging people, and that's, I'm just picking it up. I know they're not outright saying that, but I feel like they're encourarigging people that are currently infected with COVID to travel abroad. Yeah. It's kind of like, hey, if we're going to suffer, let's make everyone else suffer. I really feel like that's what's happening.
It's really effed
If you look at the official statements from the foreign ministry coming out of China, I get that feeling.
It's really bad.
It's really weird.
People in China don't deserve this at all because this is like they've been like forced for years to just be basically slaves, right? They lose their jobs, they lose their well-being, they get locked off and cut off from people, locked in their house for months, if not years, in some of these cases. And we're now in a situation where they've had this just wool ripped off their eyes. And they're like, wait a minute, the government just told me yesterday that this is going to kill me and I'm going to die and the whole rest of the world's burning. Yeah. Now they're encouraging me to get sick. Yeah. Like, what do you think? That's insane, right?
It's a bad situation all around. But just to point out how ridiculous, and anyone out there who thinks that the Chinese government has a plan.
They don't have a plan.
You have to understand, a lot of people think China plays the long game. Yes. They keep saying this. China's playing the long game. They play the shortest game possible. They play a reactionary game. Every single thing the Chinese government does, it's a reaction. Yep. They're not proactive.
There's no long plan.
No, they just wait for something to happen and then they quickly jump to it to try and fix the problem, put out the fire and say, oh, we planned that all along.
It goes all the way down to trying to get street sellers off the street because it makes China look bad, according to them. All the way up to national policy regarding COVID. Yeah. All the way up to international policy and how they send their diplomats around. It's quite literally knee-jerk reaction for everything. If you ever walk away from our videos knowing anything and you never come back, I want you to remember China never has a plan for anything. So tell your governments to stop acting like China's got some grand scheme that you need to get ready for. You need to deal with China in the moment right now. Mm-hmm. And right now it's a malicious piece of shit government that wants all of you guys to suffer. Mm-hmm. And that's how it should be dealt with going forward because it's not some grandmaster chess 40 chess.
No, it's not. It's like minus 1D chess. It's like sitting someone down who doesn't know the rules of chess and they're just arbitrarily moving the pieces around on a Anyway, this analogy is going nowhere. Just to point something
I got the analogy.
Okay, what is it?
It's pine needles on a blanket, and then someone comes over with a leaf blower. That's the Chinese government.
Okay, so right now China's no longer reporting like COVID infections. Yeah, they've said as much. Like we're just not going to be reporting them anymore.
Oh, I got some real good figures for you guys.
Yeah,
go ahead.
This is what Hua Chunying, who's the foreign spokesperson for China, said last year. Yeah. Okay. As hashtag COVID-19 infections spike in 41 US states and hashtag Washington, D.C. over the past 2 weeks, 20 plus states have stopped daily updates on hashtag epidemic. Why did US stop updating COVID data? What is it afraid of? Where is the transparency? What is the truth?
Now, Hua Chuning, I'd like to ask you a question, my dear.
Yeah.
What are you posting about these days?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound here because that's not what we do.
No.
Diplomatic people don't do that. We care about the people of China. But what your rat little mouth that runs around making the most horrible statements all the time, just making people feel bad, laughing at India when people were dying, running your mouth and saying the most horrific, I'm going to say immoral things to people on behalf of the Chinese government because it's your job. What are you saying now? What do you say now?
Do you remember when they were doing that thing like how China celebrates New Year or something, and they had fireworks, and then they said how India, and they were showing them burning the dead bodies?
I think that's a great example. Before this gets too dark, Hua Chunying and the other wolf warriors were showing a cartoon that said, this is how Chinese people are celebrating with fireworks, right?
Yeah.
This is how India is celebrating, and it was burning dead bodies.
Yeah.
This is what this woman was endorsing.
Look, all of the wolf warriors, they have these awful, undiplomatic statements, and they link all these and retweet all these disgusting things all the time. And the thing is, when the shoe's on the other foot like it is now, you do not see this coming out from any other country. There's no country right now making fun of China.
Everyone's got China's back and saying, we're wishing you the best. We hope you can sort this out.
And I hope that the world takes notice of this, and I hope China takes notice of this, and they can see who the childish, immature people are.
Yes.
And the undiplomatic people are, and it's China.
Yes.
And we should never ridicule a country or a nation that's in trouble.
No.
Okay?
No.
And they've been ridiculing the United States for years now about, oh, look how many people died, and oh, they're so bad, they really don't know what they're doing. Look at how bad they are and how stupid they are, and look at all these people dying everywhere. They're idiots, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just not cool.
No.
Anyway, let's move on from that. We'll just point a little bit of the hypocrisy out there. What do you got to say about this, China?
So this happened in Milan, Italy. They found out very quickly that the travelers that were coming from China, 50% of the passengers had COVID. And again, this is not even necessarily on the travelers because China is not allowing a lot of testing anymore. They've dismantled testing facilities, and they're encouraging people to write no for their COVID status before they go abroad.
That's one thing you have to understand is you cannot trust the tests and the data coming out of China.
No.
Because they will take shortcuts. Like we saw with those messages earlier, the airline staff were telling the people to say, no, I don't have COVID, even when they do have COVID, okay?
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that in China right now, if you need to get a 48-hour test before you fly, you'll be able to buy it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You'll just be able to buy it. That's how it works in China. You can go on Taobao or whatever. You should be able to buy it, pay someone off to get your negative test.
Yeah.
That's why if countries do implement some kind of testing requirement for Chinese travelers, they have to test them when they land.
Yes.
You cannot rely on their 48-hour test or whatever from China to be legitimate and real. And as you can see here, the fact that 50%, like half of all the passengers that arrived on 2 flights from China had COVID into Italy. So, I mean, here's the thing. It's just not what the world needs right now.
No.
It's winter, okay? It's a time when viruses spread, okay? It's a bad time for this. You do not need thousands of infected people landing in your airports and going to your tourist destinations and into your cities and spreading the virus.
With the encouragement of the Chinese government to do so.
Yeah.
If you guys have, if the elites or the officials, elected officials or companies, or it can go to any facet of life, not just about COVID. If you haven't learned in the past 3 years about what the Chinese government's about, then you've got to wake up now. Or else I don't know what to say.
And look,
you've been played.
It has to be fair. I'm all about being fair. I'm not saying that the world should act like China and just block anyone from coming into China. You should be able to allow people to come, but they should be properly screened and tested. It's that simple.
If there's in any country that has a massive, huge outbreak where hundreds of millions of people are getting infected right now, then you test. It's simple.
You know, if the Ebola virus is breaking out somewhere, you don't let the people freely travel from that place without being
there's
tested.
like millions of people with Ebola. You're not going to be like, yeah, everyone come on in.
It's just the way it works. It's just common sense. Don't turn it into a political thing. Don't turn it into a racist thing. Don't turn it into anything. Just turn it into common sense and logic.
Well, according to Jinra Toutiao here, the Chinese state media, it says China's news media tells people that opening up without preparation is actually a sign of the CCP's wisdom and determination.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. Like, that's not a...
So just opening without preparation, which is not something that we'd ever advocated for. We wanted the end of zero COVID, but to do it responsibly.
Yeah, this is kind of like, oh, we're going to punish the world again.
But, you know, according to that state media, that it is a sign of the CCP's wisdom and determination to just open unprepared.
That's right.
Is really, I mean, if that's what you call wisdom, determination maybe, but wisdom, no. It lacks wisdom.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Shall we?
Yep, we'll move on from this one.
So actually, let's look at this. It says China COVID deaths accelerate to 9,000 a day. That's the UK research firm Airfinity, and hold it there.
Okay.
I want to go through some numbers here since China's not at all reporting.
No, they don't. They're not reporting anything anymore. By the way, those crematoriums are burning 24/7.
Yeah, we're not going to. We got demonetized.
We got demonetized last time for talking about that, but
thanks for your support.
It's bad, guys. It's really bad.
Yeah. So in Japan on December 12th, right? They had 1 million weekly cases and then 1,600 deaths, right?
Okay.
And that gives you a mortality rate of 0.15%. I'm going to rattle off some figures because I want you to understand how ridiculous this is.
All right.
France, right, had on December 12th.
What's France?
France.
Okay. You said like France or something there.
France.
Yeah.
France. Well, if we talk about France.
Enough. Let's just give us the numbers.
China is my friend.
Exactly. Wait, where's that?
You gotta understand.
All right, I gotta get a calculator out here. What do you give us some numbers?
Okay. 300,000, about 400,000 weekly cases, 730 deaths, right? Gives you about a 0.18% mortality rate. So you gotta understand that what this does is this puts you in a perspective about what percentage of people are dying, right?
Yeah.
November 7th, we had 151,000 weekly cases, 405 deaths. That was a mortality rate of 0.26%. It was even higher, right?
Okay.
So the baseline, what we're looking at is the bottom end is 0.15% for a mortality rate, and the top end is 0.26%. Okay. If you look at China, I mean, this is even a low estimate. Let's say 250 million people have it right now, right?
Okay. Low estimate for sure, dude.
Yes.
At least I think at least half a billion.
You're looking at about 700,000 minimum deaths. Right?
Minimum, yeah.
Minimum. 700,000 minimum deaths. But that's like on the ridiculous, stupid low end because we're probably looking at the entire country coming down with it, at least very soon, right? Then you're talking about millions and millions, 5, 6, 7, 8 million, right? When you bring the math back into it and you look at what China's claiming with the deaths, it quite literally makes no sense. They're basically saying that no one has died. So in a country that has almost no ICU beds left, right? A terrible healthcare system, much worse than the countries I've just quoted, Japan and France.
Oh yeah, it is bad. I can attest.
A vaccine that didn't work compared to the Western versions, the mRNA vaccines, and a populace, or elderly populace that a lot of them refuse to get even the bad vaccine.
Sure.
We're talking about China claiming that it has outperformed every single country on this entire planet 1 million-fold.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Funeral homes, and this is according to some messages I've read, funeral homes are not accepting people if the cause of death is COVID.
Yeah.
So they have to change it.
It's insane.
So they change it to heart attack or whatever, just so that the funeral home can accept the body. So we're never, ever going to know the cause, the amount of COVID-related deaths. And even officially, China has said that it will no longer classify a death as a COVID-related death unless it was only COVID respiratory, problem.
Yes.
So if you had anything, but COVID is what actually killed you, they're still going to write it down as that other thing. Yes. So we'll never know the amount of deaths. The Chinese state media is still throwing out this, a million whatever Americans died and we're so much better, even though way more Chinese people have died. And that's why they cannot release the numbers, because it'll make them lose so much face. Because for years, they've been poking fun at America and using them as an example.
Like people like Hua Chunying and Zhao Lijian saying, look, you guys died.
Yeah.
Literally like little evil children.
Yeah. So we'll never know, but just so you know, it's absolutely horrendous.
Outlandish.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? What do we got over here? This looks interesting. I haven't seen this clip. What's this all about? Okay.
This is actually supposed to tie into what we're talking about later.
Okay.
No one died in this, by the way.
No. That's
exploding. Because we're going to look at a lot of action movie scenes.
Right.
So that was a real life action scene.
Okay.
A lot of electric vehicles in China explode, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no, it's no good.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah. I got to change the audio device. It's not working again.
What a shame. Here we're going to look at a clip. We're going to be looking at a clip for this is the kind of shit that goes around on like Chinese social media.
Oh, it's because I turned it down last time.
Okay. What this is
this is hilarious.
This whole thing. Just get to the part where she.
Yeah, because
the part where she shows how to do it.
I got a lot of doctor connections still in China, so they've been laughing at this because doctors obviously know this is bullshit.
They're like, what are you doing? She teaches you how to open up your WeChat.
我们点一下这个发现，
The apps or the plugin section, right?
Yeah.
然后再点一下这个搜一搜， 然后这个搜索。
Yeah.
By the way, just play it.
I'll
go for it.
Go to this part. Okay, yeah, here.
By your cough, if you have COVID or not.
Yeah. So this is how it works.
我们点第一个新冠肺炎检测。
Yeah.
You pull this up.
上面写着长按麦克风咳嗽3秒钟。
Yeah.
我们按一下这个麦克风。大家看到没有？正常。
So that means it's normal. She doesn't have COVID based on her.
赶快去试一下吧。
And this is the problem I have with this is, let's say it was used as like a little fun supplement, right? And it's like, now you should seek. It sounds like you have a cough. Now you should seek medical help. It's like a little bullshit thing like that. That'd be whatever, right? But this is being used as like the evidence of you having COVID.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, what do? Hold that thing up to your heart and see if you've got a heart disease, or
It's like,
like hold it up to your ear.
Heartbeat, have a heart
it's like
attack.
listen to your phone to see if you have an ear infection. You know what I mean? It's nonsense.
Can you hear this beep beep?
Yeah,
Then you're not deaf.
Yeah. No, seriously, that's ridiculous. Seeing if you're infected by coughing into the microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
5G AI, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good laugh at this. It's such nonsense, and this dude's pretty funny though. What's he doing?
He's got a fever, from COVID. By the way, all the medicine is sold out.
Yeah.
And it's even getting sold out here. We covered that last time. But anyway, this guy decided to hook up a CPU fan.
After I mentioned it last week, remember I told everybody to watch out because the Daigou are going to strip your shelves. I actually had a lot of people sending me pictures of like Vons and CVS empty shelves.
Yeah, all our subscribers reached out from coast to coast. Empty shelves everywhere.
Yeah.
And there are, of course, places where that hasn't happened. But even online, people were sending me, like, stuff was getting upmarked, like $50 for some Tylenol.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And that's the thing. These Daigou are dedicated, okay? Remember when the PPE was when we were still in California?
Yeah.
And the PPE was being Daigou'd away.
Yeah.
And remember,
there was nothing.
And we needed masks.
There was nothing there.
So I was at the time I was going somewhere with my wife, and we drove to like a really rural little town, kind of in the east of California, where like there's nothing
Desert
there.
area.
Okay, and they had like a CVS or a Walgreens or whatever there. We walked in there, and as I arrived in the parking lot, there was a van full of Daigou, and they had just gone in and bought all of the hand sanitizer, all of the masks, everything that had anything to do.
We're back here.
Yeah, and they put it in their vans. They'd driven from LA or whatever, like hours. It was like a 3-hour drive from LA to get to this middle of nowhere place to buy everything. And it was like, I was so appalled, because everybody needed that stuff at the time.
For sure.
And that's why we went to the shop to try and get some hand sanitizer.
For sure. Where we live now, I've noticed that people care about that stuff less, and there's less Daigou, so we're good. But like if you live in a populated area, the more city folk are sending us this stuff, and it's getting wiped out again. We're back to 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
2020, I should say.
Anyway, it's annoying. But yeah, this guy's pretty inventive.
Yeah, he's going to cool down. That'll probably generate some heat there itself, right?
No, it should work.
Yeah, it should work, yeah.
Get a CPU cooler. Yeah, so what's this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of clips going around of like all the dead bodies piling up. We don't want to show that.
Yeah, we don't want to show it because we get demonetized, and we showed you already.
It's a funeral home. It's literally just lined up. And the cops are preventing people from going in. And they're trying to stop people from filming it and talking about it because they want what China wants right now. The Chinese government
These are all hearses, by the way. Yeah. Just packed.
Chinese government don't demonetize this. YouTube is freaking, it's a card. All right.
You never know what's inside.
Yeah. It could be popcorn.
Yeah, it's popcorn inside.
Anyway. The point is the Chinese government right now wants everyone to say, yes, I have COVID, and no, I didn't die.
Yes.
Not, yes, I have COVID, and I know so many people that died. Mm-hmm. That's their antithesis.
Yeah.
That's what they're worried about.
So the cops are out there protecting the funeral homes, basically.
By the way, I forgot to throw this in here. There's another defense campaign from China because everyone's talking about, well, I shouldn't say everyone. Not enough people know about how many people are dying right now, but they don't want people talking about that. So they sent a bunch of reporters to the U.S.
Yeah.
And they do this. It's crazy. Like we can't go there to report anything, right?
No.
But they can send governments, like central government reporters all around the country in the U.S. to go interview people. And they're interviewing people about how, like in Buffalo, New York and stuff, about how they were affected with that cold snap. Thankfully, it's warmed up now, but the cold snap that happened and some people died and stuff.
Yeah.
They're sending people out there to report about how like American infrastructure is so bad and it can't like handle it and all this kind of stuff. And they're running these defense campaigns for domestic media in China.
And I see a lot of the horrible comments. Again, like every society, you get the good people, you get the bad people, you get the scumbags, right? And the scumbags on the Chinese internet are actually celebrating the cold snap and saying, I wish it was like double as cold. Yeah. And I hope more people die and stuff. Because look, they're dealing with a lot of trouble. I get it. They're frustrated. They want to like
it's just
make themselves
like
feel
the
better.
People,
I say like it is low class.
The average person's like nice. But,
of course.
Yeah. But it's symptomatic of the Chinese government's media campaign that's going to send people there for like, look how bad it is there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to Soft Power Hour. Let's lighten this up, guys. No more COVID talk.
Yeah. Enough.
All right, now we're going to move on to Soft Power Hour. This is where we talk about how China tries to change your mind. And we've got a fun one for you today. So, first of all, I wonder, have any of you heard of this? It's the RC-135 rivet joint. You heard about this before?
I have not.
Well, you know how the pride of Canada is the Aurora?
Yes.
You know, the Aurora is just incredible. Yep. This is kind of similar to the Aurora, but it's the American thing.
Oh, okay. The rivet joint. It's an interesting name.
That's just like a variant.
Kind of a shit name.
It is. It's a pretty shit name.
Shouldn't it be called a Cobra Strike?
There's one called the Cobra Eye.
Oh, well, there we go.
It's just a variant of the RC-135, which is this Boeing thing. I believe it's Boeing. If I'm wrong, don't crucify me. But anyway, it's a reconnaissance plane.
So it doesn't hold a candle to the Aurora.
No. Probably doesn't even have CRT monitors.
Probably doesn't.
It's probably like got ticker tape, something like that. Anyway, this thing that was built in the 60s, designed in the 60s, I should say, has been completely retrofitted with advanced radar and stuff.
Oh, so this is really high. Really powerful.
Yeah, it's very good for reconnaissance. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So this thing is knocking about, flying around in the South China Sea in international airspace.
The rivet joint.
Yeah.
This one doesn't get a French kiss, right?
Nah. I don't know what we give this one, but
not even a chef's kiss.
It's not that great. It doesn't get a French kiss or a chef's kiss. Gets none of that stuff. What if it's a French chef?
I'm not kissing him.
No, but it gets a French chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's true.
It's got a classy chef's kiss. Yeah. Anyway, it's flying around, knocking about in the South China Sea. Now, for those of you who don't know, China claims areas that don't belong to it.
China claims the world at this point.
So in the South China Sea, it has been for the longest time, a huge chunk of history now, there's been a designated area that's international waters and international airspace. And it's vital for trade in the area.
Sure.
Okay? Think about all the countries that are close by there, right? Yeah. Vietnam and the rest of the bunch down there, Philippines, and there's a lot of countries in that area, a lot, and they all rely on this South China Sea for like shipping and, fishing. And
Was there a shipping hub in China's northeast?
Oh, you mean this one?
Port of Dandong.
Sorry, this is
Yeah,
perfect
exactly.
segue. Go ahead.
Anyway, so in order for this trade and globalization and all the rest of it to continue to work,
Is that like a center for that?
yeah, there's a center for China and globalization. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. But anyway, in order for this to work, these shipping routes and so on have to remain open and free.
Yeah.
And the US does these freedom of movement exercises every once in a while where it will send a ship or whatever through these waters because they're international waters. Now, sometime in the last 2 decades, I'd say, China decided that they just own that area. Okay, and they dug up a ancient map, which they drew some lines, and the 9-dash line, they're like, that belongs to us. Look, this old map proves it. Which, by the way, is a bunch of bullshit, because then England can pull out a map from 100 years ago and say, guess what? We own you. We own everyone. We own the whole world. I mean, an old map doesn't give legitimacy. It doesn't. Old governments, old regimes, they're gone. So like the British Empire, like the British Empire could prove that, oh, look at this old map. We own literally the whole world.
True.
Nobody would be like, okay, we agree with you.
Yeah.
If the Queen's ghost came out with that map or something.
No. Queen's
maybe
ghost.
then,
Put her away.
Anyway, the fact of the matter, like Prince Charles or something, he's like, look at this map. Now we own Africa and we own everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't work that way. But in China, they think it does, the Chinese government. So this area is kind of like a contested area, but only China really contests it. The rest of the world's like, no, it's just international space, as it always has been. And these trade routes need to stay open and safe. So this rivet joint, okay, is basically just flying around doing reconnaissance in the international airspace.
As you do.
As you do, because you're keeping the trade routes safe, And this is what happened. Okay? A plan, okay, which means People's Liberation Army Navy, by the way. They don't have a plan.
No.
Okay. A J-11 intercepted this wonderful aircraft.
In international airspace.
Yeah. Would it surprise you that the J-11 is an Su-27 variant?
Not at all.
So it's a Russian Sukhoi Su-27 that's, I guess, been upgraded or changed to China's specifications. It's a licensed build of the thing. It's not an original thing, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So it came in there, and it's flying really close, as you can see. Okay?
Just wants to say hi.
But then it starts drifting closer and closer. This is out of the cockpit of this beautiful big rivet joint. And you can see it gets so close that they actually had to drop and maneuver away. The rivet joint had to move.
Yeah.
And that's because it was an unsafe maneuver. The plane could have collided.
Yes.
And you know what?
Within 10 feet, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's super close. And that's incredibly irresponsible.
Yeah.
And you know what this happened?
The act of war.
Yeah. And this is what was happening with those Auroras as well.
Yeah.
Remember?
Scrambling them.
Yeah. And they were just also... But you know what? In 2001, you hear about the Hainan incident?
Yeah, I know well about that.
Similar story.
Yeah.
Except that time, the Chinese plane crashed into the reconnaissance aircraft, and then the pilot died.
Yeah.
And then whoever was on the reconnaissance aircraft managed to land safely in Hainan Island, caused a big diplomatic thing.
Huge.
No one died there.
No. It was a big deal, though.
It was huge. It was a big diplomatic spat. Anyway, this is, again, completely irresponsible garbage from the Chinese, Navy over here.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Why do they have to harass these reconnaissance aircraft?
International waters.
International
airs.
airspace.
Yeah. We have another situation about international waters later, because it turns out they do the exact same
Oh, they
thing.
do the same thing in international waters. But they're just harassing, People are flying in international airspace and they're like, oh, we're just going to go do an unsafe maneuver. This is as close as you get to an act of war.
Yeah, the problem is this is what happens when the PLA doesn't have a plan. No pun intended. And the leadership has constantly stoked you with the fact that we are the dominant power of the world, and no one belongs here except for us, when the international law doesn't dictate that at all.
No.
They don't get to hear the international perspective,
No.
right? They get to hear the God in chief.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Do you guys know why your economy is doing well? It's because shipping goes through that area, and that's how it works. You know why you can afford that plane that you built there, that you licensed from Russia, that you couldn't make by yourself? Do you know how you can afford that? It's because of the shipping that's going through there and all the trade you're doing with the world.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to mess that up?
Because they want to own the shipping routes.
Yeah, they want to own them.
They want everyone to pay tribute. They want everyone to act like China is an empire.
Yeah.
And you have to kowtow to the emperor.
So let's talk about Top Gun. Okay. You know, we know Top Gun.
Bottom gun.
Yeah, bottom gun over here. Top Gun Maverick was coming out, okay? And everyone knew it was going to be at least fairly successful. So China decided that they were going to make their own Top Gun knockoff. And it's just a Top Gun knockoff, okay? There's no reason for them to release it other than because they know it would do well. And they knew it would be a very good... It was supposed to be a showcase of the new J-20 sort of stealth fighter, you know, from the People's Liberation Army Air Force.
The plan?
The plan. No, this is the plan.
Not the, the
this
plan.
is the plan.
Sorry, the plan.
Plan.
Blah.
Yeah, exactly. So the plan and you know, the CCP were like, hey, this is a great opportunity to do some propaganda.
Hard power.
And they dumped
oh my God.
billions into this movie. Okay. It's super high budget.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the Global Times, which is, you know, the Chinese state mouthpiece. It's a state media English. And they were like, new Chinese film, Born to Fly, to show dedication, rigorous training of Chinese PLA Air Force test pilots.
Just if you, for some reason, thought China's Top Gun knockoff was independent of the government.
No, it's 100%,
yes.
You know, it's government endorsed. And
it's propaganda.
It was also, here's something that a lot of people don't seem to understand about the way the Chinese film industry works. This was to be released just when the National Day holiday came about. Now, National Day holiday is a huge patriotic thing, and you get like a week off.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right.
So this was going to be released on the day of the National Day holiday. And during the National Day holiday, it is actually pretty much mandatory to go off and watch nationalist films and things like that.
It's what you do.
Your school organizes it. Your company organizes it.
It's like 5-year-olds will go watch a movie about like Japanese people beheading people.
I mean, yeah, we saw that recently with that the Battle of the Yalu River or whatever it's called, whatever.
Lake
you know
of
that?
Changjin.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm talking about. You know that like whole North Korea thing where they somehow glamorized the fact that they were horribly like
defeated.
Beaten.
in lost countless men.
And the Chinese Communist Party sent their soldiers in without shoes and coats.
And died in the cold.
And they died of cold, but somehow it became like a nationalist, massive box office hit.
It's like, look at us. The government thinks that we are not humans.
Yeah, but it was...
Celebrate.
People loved it, and it made a huge amount of money in China. But it's because it's mandatory. Think about this. Retired people also all get free tickets to go and see it. Yep. So it makes this huge box office. And it's like a forced box office. It's mandatory.
They'll change tickets for other movies. Let's say Transformers comes out. They'll take a Transformers ticket. They'll just cross it out and they'll write that
that's happened, They do that kind of stuff. But it's also because it's a nationalist holiday. It's the, it's the National Day holiday. Then everybody does patriotic stuff, and they're supposed to do this. And it's like I said, in a lot of institutions, it's mandatory to go and see. You will get a ticket if you work at a company. Yeah. The company will buy you a ticket. You're going to go see this. Yes. Yeah. So everybody goes to see these nationalist films. Yeah. And that's why these movies do so well. And things like Wolf Warrior, all these like nationalist movies that's supposed to show China as being very powerful and militaristic and stuff, they do very well. And this was going to be one of those films. Yeah. So it was ready to roll, ready to go. It was supposed to be, released exactly at National Day. Yeah. And then like a few days before, it just kind of disappeared.
Never got released.
Yeah. So we're going to explain to you why. But let's first take a look at the, I don't know, what do you call them? The Eurogao, the preview?
Yeah, the trailer.
Yeah, that's what you call it. Okay, so let's take a quick look. I'll get us out of here. Oh, let me bring the volume up there. Sorry, I'll start that again. Just so that you can listen to this beautiful trailer. Okay, let's do it.
Let's be hearing it.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't hear it, here's some visual representation.
首先要突破你们自己的极限。
Yeah, so
Like in the trailer for your billion-dollar propaganda movie,
yeah.
you had to steal Star Wars sound effects.
Yeah, now we're going to show you more footage. Don't worry, we've got more footage of there were some extended trailers and stuff we're going to put in the background because we have to discuss it. But there's a specific scene I want to show you here, which is absolutely absurd. Okay.
We've talked about this in the past.
We did. But this was, remember the article in the Global Times showed this where they're like...
They're so proud of this.
They're like, it shows the determination. Yeah. It shows how... strong the People's Liberation Air Force pilots are.
Yeah.
And they show the guy being cooked.
Yeah.
This
literally cooked.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay? This is not what happens.
No.
When you test a new car or an aircraft, they stress test them. And like I said last time, by baking them to see when the rubber, like at what point the rubbers start to melt and the metal starts to warp and stuff, because it's important to know this data. Okay, so they bake a car or a plane or whatever, and then they also freeze them for the same effect. See when things start to crack and break. But you don't have a person inside of it when you do that.
No, I don't know if they didn't get the memo or if they don't actually test for that.
I don't think they know about it. They don't know the science behind it, because why would you do this?
I truly don't know.
Because there's no way
They're cooking a man.
You don't bake a
star
man.
pilot.
Yeah, you don't bake him, and
You're
then
ace pilot.
and then you don't.
And then you freeze.
Wait, that's my favorite. Like when you see the icicles all over the
The
dude.
Nazi experiment.
Exactly. That's kind of. Where's that? I gotta see the frozen face. There we go.
He's getting me so sleepy. Why are you freezing?
He's got ice crystals all over. Yeah. Tong Sawala. Oh yeah, we better get a Tong Sawala. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally frozen with ice crystals on him.
Yes. You're not supposed to put a man in there.
So, and this is supposed to show how tough the People's Liberation Army
I would love to
Air Force are.
Yeah, I would love to I would hope, because we haven't seen the movie because it didn't get released, and we'll tell you why.
Yeah.
But I would love to think that the dialogue leading up to this is, I don't get separated from my plane. My plane gets frozen, I get frozen,
Yeah, it's definitely not that though. It's just like, we're so tough.
Yeah.
What a crock of shit. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
Anyway, you notice the Darth Vader sound by now. Why though? One more time. Yeah.
The CG is horrific, and this is great for China, like top notch. But it's still so bad because you show so much nepotism and corruption even in the film industry because it's government related.
Yeah,
that stuff is just shit. It's just really shitty quality.
Yeah. So here we're gonna play some extended trailers in the background. You can look at the CG of the planes. Okay.
I mean, what is this? Toy Story 1?
As somebody who plays, DCS, Digital Combat Simulator.
Yeah.
The game looks better than this movie.
Oh yeah,
way
especially
better.
The detail.
Yeah, it's very poor. All the CG that you see is incredibly poor. Yeah, Dong Sawala. yeah, exactly. Sawala is the other one.
Yeah.
To death. Yeah, like if you also look at all the details in the trailer, you can see that they've just taken every scene from Top Gun pretty much and adapted it.
Oh, we'll see this in pretty much every movie that comes out of China. I'll show you some stuff that I pulled up.
Yes. But yeah, it's just shameless to see such a high budget movie look so shitty. So what's the reason that they pulled it, by the way?
Oh yeah, so I got some quotes here. And I think this is a key feature. I know people are talking about this right now. That's why we're covering it. Mm-hmm. But I think the most important thing is to understand why they would pull something that had $870 million. So that was $870 million for the battle at Lake Changjing.
Yeah.
And this is going to potentially be like $1 billion revenue movie, right?
Yeah, this was definitely, they were planning. Wait. Can I just point something out here? You see this, what you can see here is this, obviously it's like a hero's moment, and the poor guy is stuck in the cockpit here, and he's got blood all over him. Mm-hmm. So he's got a little gash on his eye.
Yeah.
How is there blood on the top and all over his helmet? How is there blood all over his mask?
That's it's the plane's blood.
I mean, okay.
I don't know, dude.
If this is even if this is like, okay, let's just put it in this scenario. If this is a dual-seater, I think it's a single-seater plane anyway. Let's say it's a dual-seater
Sure.
and there's a pilot or someone in front that got shot and it splats over him. Okay, then maybe, but it's not though.
No.
Because look, the buddy pulling him out also has blood all over his mask and his helmet, but there's not a speck of blood on him.
No, he's like super handsome and clean. He's
What
like
is-
just out of the shower.
What's going on with these special effects?
I love the blood splatter.
And there's like chunks of bits of stuff.
It's like he had like a deep vein thrombosis clot.
It's like he blew his nose real hard into the wind and he had like, something wrong going on there, But just the sheer amount of like blood and jibs or whatever. All over this guy's helmet. It's comical. It's comical.
It is. So I want to read this.
Yeah,
So
okay.
by the way, when we say it's billions of dollars budget, we're including there's the planes. Like this is a huge soft power effort to show off the planes in the Air Force, right?
Yeah, of course, all the flying scenes you see are CG. There's not a single shot, and I looked through these trailers very carefully, not a single shot of the planes flying that's real.
Yes.
They're not capable of doing that. That's why they keep ripping off like Top Gun for the news and stuff in China.
Yeah, Giga Trimmer said they forgot the wound CG.
Yes, they forgot the wound, yeah.
Anyway, this whole movie, by the way, is 5G and AI.
Yes,
Just so you
yes,
guys
yes.
know. Brought to you by Huawei.
Oh, dude, like this CG, I don't
Yeah,
know.
look at how bad this
If you just watch this flag, okay, watch the flag, Chinese flag. It's just so bad.
It's real bad.
It's like,
You were slowing it down for me in post.
yeah,
It's so when you look at the details, everything like the textures are so plain.
it's not good, dude. It's like,
I mean, think about how many millions of dollars were wasted on baijiu and cigarettes to like PLA officials and
they
stuff.
could have played DCS and just like put a film grain over it and it would have looked better than this.
Quite literally. So importantly,
Yeah.
let me get back on track.
Right.
It says, Born to Fly was officially scheduled for release on September 30th, the day before China's National Day holiday, right?
Yeah.
Many analysts were bullish on the tentpole's prospects of following in the footsteps of Wolf Warrior 2, which made $870 million in 2017. Battle at Lake Changjin, which was in 2021, made $902 million, right? Again, forced, nationalism, ticket sales, to become China's next proudly nationalistic military blockbuster. Word within the Beijing film industry, by the way, we know some people that used to work in that.
Oh, yes.
Is that Born to Fly's producers were made to realize that their movie stunts and visual effects were far inferior to Top Gun Maverick, which had come out in May, right?
Yeah.
And that the Chinese version risked ridicule in comparison, all of which would have been most unwelcome, even politically dangerous. And that's my favorite quote here.
Yes.
China deemed this movie as potentially politically dangerous because for them, this is not a movie to generate income. This is not a movie to just be like, oh, we're proud Chinese. This is a movie to be a political chess piece, to make people stand up and say, I am proud to be Chinese and we can defeat America. That's what this is.
Yeah, and it's look how much better and more powerful our jets are than American jets and stuff.
Yeah, and it says even politically dangerous, given that the two films are in part propagandistic displays of the United States and China's military strengths. Some in China who would have seen Born to Fly have said, or have seen Born to Fly, have said that the movie disappointed the Chinese Air Force because of both its overall perceived shabbiness and its mistaken reference to China's proudly homemade J-20 as the fourth generation.
This is fifth generation.
What they rather than correctly a more advanced fifth generation plane of its kind. I mean, China has been really crafty with the propaganda it's done with its airplane stuff.
Yeah.
In that they release like prototypes for like 6th gen stuff to try to get propaganda out there in a knee-jerk reaction to anything that the U.S. does. Yeah. And again, China doesn't have a plan. It has a plan of people's liberation.
Yeah, that's the only plan they have. Yeah.
But it doesn't have a plan.
No.
And that's the issue with this, is that they throw away disturbing amounts of money and then remove something, a huge propaganda piece, because they think, hey, maybe Chinese people will watch this and say, we're weak.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a huge political move. And Chinese people don't have freedom to enjoy what they, want to consume, entertainment-wise.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, some higher ups looked at Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And then they watched this and they were like, this is shit. We can't show this.
Lane Seawright has a good point.
What's that?
5th gen fighter, 5G.
Yes.
Right?
There we go.
Runs on 5G.
5G fighter.
For
yes,
sure.
that's
5G
correct.
Planes.
Dude, I mean, it's just shameful if you go through the trailers and so on, you can see how they tried to emulate Top Gun so much.
Copehead, I think, had a great thing. Every scene has small dick energy. And no, they think about this because when you need to make your movie just a huge middle finger to something that's already been made, something that's already a good movie and could be released in your country. It's just a nice movie and you can earn a ton of money.
Yeah.
Right? China can just say, yeah, we can show Top Gun. No, they have to make a like scene for scene bad copy of that. It's really insecure.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what that means. It's super insecure.
Yeah.
And I think it comes off as that, and I think it might have been a good move for China if they're going to use this as a political pawn, like a political chess piece, to probably not air it because it could backfire.
Oh, yeah.
It could backfire.
Because the nationalists, those are the ones you don't want to disappoint.
Yeah.
And if they saw this, they'd feel like cringe, you know?
Yes.
They'd feel ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Because it can't hold a candle to Top Gun.
I love the Andrew Tate joke, by the way. That was good. From Copeland. That's what the quote was.
Yeah. What they've done is they've removed it. The only kind of official statement, other than that stuff which comes from insiders, is that they took it down to rework the action scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
So they might still release it.
Yes.
They may still release it, but it's going to be completely redone.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah.
It's still going to be bad.
Yeah.
It looks like a bad movie.
The acting and everything just looks terrible. But it doesn't need to be good. Look at Wolf Warrior 2.
Yeah.
That's like one of the worst acted movies I've ever seen.
And that's top.
Yeah.
That's the toppest of the top, right? Toppest gun.
Yeah. That's for our... Oh, yeah, never mind that. Just this last scene. Look at the planes, how they fly over the logo. Watch. That looks so bad. Anyway.
So, yeah, I wanted to...
let's talk about movies.
Yeah, let's
Chinese
talk about movies.
Yeah.
So... I have this theory that China can't become a global superpower until it becomes cool.
Right.
I think China's cool. I think Chinese people are cool. I think things in China
got
are
potential.
cool. But its outward projection to the world, unfortunately, always has to go through the sieve of the Chinese government, right?
Yeah.
It's not that the Chinese people aren't allowed; they're not allowed to go out there and project themselves.
Yes.
Right? It has to go through this kind of filter, and it sucks because Chinese people are awesome, creative people, like musicians we met, like people that really do stuff, are not the ones that are put in the front.
Well, I'd say the majority of Chinese people aren't, and that's because they're not allowed to be.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
what I'm
ones
saying.
that are they've got such an uphill battle.
Yeah.
In fact, my whole Stay Awesome China documentary was me going to the big cities to try and find people that were going against the grain, and it's so difficult for them to do what they do.
It is. It's so hard. And I'm saying, imagine that dam was released.
Yeah.
You'd have the most talented, hardworking people that really want to experience something new. And and do stuff.
You would actually create an environment where people like that could thrive.
Yes.
Right now, people
It's
like that,
stifled.
you can't. If you try to be creative in China, you will get beat down.
And my point is, there are creative people in China, but they're never propelled to the front. You don't see them.
Yeah.
You don't see them. We see them when we live there, but you don't see them on the international stage, and that's because corruption, nepotism, all this kind of stuff puts the wrong people in the front, and that happens in the Chinese film industry as well. So I think China won't ever be a global soft power because soft power superpower, I should say, because they don't have anything cool to show. Yeah. Right. And that's because the wrong stuff gets put to the front. And
well, I don't know. Like what we're about to show you is pretty cool.
Yeah, let's have a look. This is a horror movie, I guess. Horror action movie.
Okay, let's take a look.
That's a neat film.
What are we looking at?
Beheaded snake. Now the great thing about this, hold on a second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The plot of this, because I watched this, right? Mm-hmm. The plot of this movie is that some people and a researcher and whatever go to this kind of island, tourist island, where they get to see like some resurrected exotic reptiles.
Sounds familiar to me.
Sounds familiar. But then their bus crashes and, bad stuff happens to them, right? And it turns out it's some horrific scientific experience. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's Jurassic Park.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's
Jurassic Park.
Now this movie, on the other hand, wildly different. Let's have a look.
Okay, let's take a look. And this one was dubbed into English
Officially,
because they wanted this Yoku TV to take off. So this is one of the things they did, this movie. Let's take a look.
Let's run away. Jen, it's great.
Can you go back to that? I just want to hear that again.
What? Let's run away?
It's not a fan dub.
This is official. This is...
By the way, can I say something?
Yeah.
This movie, because this one's different, right?
Yeah.
This movie is about a island, right, where these tourists go.
Yeah.
And what happens is it turns out it's some experiment where they resurrect some reptiles.
Yeah.
And the reptiles are like really, really dangerous, but then their bus crashes. And then they actually have to fend for themselves.
It's the same movie.
Literally
It's the same movie as
but
the
it's
previous.
not the same.
Yeah,
And it's not a sequel. It's a different series of movies.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
Okay, let's take a look.
Let's run away.
I just love that quote. Let's turn it up so you can actually.
Oh, yeah, turn it up
This
a
is
little
another scene that I think I actually peed my pants almost.
Okay, yeah, let's see. What's going on?
It's great. Let's talk later. Well, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Well, he's not... Oh, the kid... I thought the kid was saying 1, 2, 3.
No, they're trying to push the bus.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Sir?
1, 2, 3.
Where's the washroom?
There's no washroom. Let me take you to the woods. Can you make it? Do you want me to help you?
What the... Okay. What the fuck? Okay. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Jesus, you gotta warn me about this shit. What the... Okay.
Let me take you to the
Okay,
woods.
wait, let's
Can we see that whole scene again?
okay, sure.
So the context here is that
Wow.
the bus crashes in the dressing. I mean, not the Snake Island.
Yeah,
or whatever
snake.
The hell it's called.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone's trying to push the bus.
Yeah, yeah.
To get it unstuck.
Yeah.
Can
The
you...
little boy needs to pee.
Yeah.
So this man offers to take him to pee in the woods because
Yeah.
the kid expects there to be a bathroom.
Yeah. So, but he can't, right?
Make
Can't,
it?
so you'll see him.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
That's super sus, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
his look
he's
says
like-
it all.
He's like, fuck off.
You want me to help you?
He's
So what does he do?
So he whistles, and that's actually important.
Yeah, that's a cultural thing. If you walk around in the
Yeah.
parks or something in China, the grandmothers and grandfathers, they carry the kids around. And when they
Yeah.
want the kid to pee, they whistle.
Yes.
And by the way, seeing a kid peeing in public is very common in
Yeah,
China.
it's just everywhere.
They'll just pee in a flower pot or whatever, and they'll whistle. And
They
then the
train
kid will
them,
pee. Yeah.
so they can pee on command.
Yeah.
I remember there's a woman holding up a baby in front of it was an ashtray outside of Walmart.
Yeah.
Peeing in there, whistling. And that's the first time I saw that. I was like, I'm watching a woman hold a baby peeing in an ashtray outside of a Walmart in a mall while whistling at it. And then I learned what it was. Yeah, they train them to do it. But can we see the scene as a whole?
Okay, I'll
Because
rewind.
that is just like I don't know how to say this, but the peeing on the frog thing is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, let's take a
What?
look.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sir?
1, 2, 3.
Sir?
Where's the washroom?
There's no washroom. Let me take you to the woods. Can you make it? Do you want me to help you?
Why?
Oh, dude.
Why does he piss on the frog? Why is it his gut instinct is to piss on the frog?
Yeah, there's a frog there. May as well piss in it. And you know, the thing about China is, you know that they filmed a real frog rarely getting pissed on.
There is no,
It's
like
not fake piss.
You know the 5G AI, CG
Yeah.
we just watched and the top bottom gun.
Yeah.
That was CG, right?
Yes.
This is
Younger and beautiful.
that kind of stuff. That was not.
No,
That was
that was
real
real.
piss from a real dick.
Really pissing on a
Really
frog.
pissing on a real life frog. You know that. That is
So
I know this makes no
unnecessary.
sense.
It's so
It's
unnecessary.
just so unnecessary. But
Yeah.
um,
It's like,
I'm doing a poll.
Yeah.
Would you pee on the frog? Because I just feel like you don't pee on a frog.
I'll tell you what, if I'm like really drunk, I would pee on the frog.
You would pee on the frog.
If I'm like drunk,
this guy's not drunk.
You got a gutter or something, and you're just
you're like, whoa,
you're down on your luck or whatever, and you see a frog there.
I'm doing a would you pee on the frog poll. It's up right now. Yeah. Would you guys pee? And don't be facetious and be like, yes, I'll pee on the frog. Put yourself in this guy's position. Dropped off on this island, helping this.
A better question is, if you were making a movie, would you film a guy peeing on a frog?
Would you add that scene?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what happened is they're filming in the woods here and like, oh, a frog. Hey, piss on it. We'll film it.
Yeah.
Right? Because they didn't write it into the script.
No, it's just like, whatever, yeah.
This is the poor frog's breakout role and he gets pissed on.
I know, right?
Poor guy. Anyway,
what do we got over here?
I just want to say, I know it doesn't make any sense because it's not a sound, but I want that to be a sound bite.
I'll see if I can do some magic behind the scenes here. Okay, but in the meantime, what's going on here?
This is a movie where they got a token foreigner. I love when they get foreigners.
Yeah.
Non-Chinese people to be in movies because they're always not actors.
Yeah.
To be fair, usually a lot of the Chinese people are not actors either. They just throw together a movie. This one's about like sexy bad girls that like do heists or something.
Okay.
And they get the token foreigner to like broker a deal. Like you give me the suitcase of money and I'll give you whatever, right? But there is no script here. There's no planning here.
Okay.
I just love this.
Let's take a look.
Let me translate here.
Yeah. His Chinese is great, by the way, but he has to mix it in with the English because that's his role. He's supposed to be a foreigner, right?
I'm commending him because they didn't give him shit to go off of.
No.
And he just like came up with something.
Yeah, he really did. Like was not scripted.
There was no script there, and he goes like, he obviously was told like they need to fight, right?
Yeah.
Like his guy and their guys need to fight, but they don't have beef. No. He's like, I like Chinese kung fu.
Yeah.
And I like Chinese boxing. Like, how about my guy and your guy they fight? And he's like, okay, cool. What context is this?
No context.
Anyway, this is the quality that you can expect.
Oh yeah.
Not the boxes.
Yeah, not the boxes. It's kind of reminds me of this.
Can that be a permanent bite?
That's permanent. That's staying there.
I don't know what you use that for, but there'll
be reasons to use it. Yeah.
Okay, we're at the poll with 1,200 votes. I'm gonna close it out here. Would you pee on the frog? No, got 56% majority.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you guys that the majority of our audience would not pee on the poor innocent frog. I wouldn't pee on the frog.
I said, if I was drunk, I would, but I wouldn't film it.
That's key.
Yeah.
I think that's akin to saying no, because if a man pees on a frog, but no one's there to film it, did a man pee
exactly.
on the frog?
Nobody would ever know. It's like Schrodinger's cat.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, cool.
57% of you guys, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Close it down.
All right, excellent. So for those of you who don't know, we have this show on Monday. It's called Shaban Ho. It's a VIP show. And, well, we wanted to show you what you may have missed. Let's take a look. We're here to talk to you about knockoff cars.
You will be interested.
What is this camera work going on here? The Rolls-Royce one is this.
Break.
Okay, the Chinese one is that.
What have you done?
Anyone who's ever messed around with like a Chinese Android tablet will immediately get PTSD just looking at this. Out of 5, it got 0. See, the steering wheel just basically mashes the driver. Yeah, I mean, come on, like, guys, what are you doing?
Makes no sense.
Now it's getting a bit more risque.
Oh, look, I can stretch out here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, oh, I could definitely do a split.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. Woo. Yeah, so, guys, it's our favorite time of the week. Monday, we have a live show. If you're interested in joining us, go over to patreon.com/ADVpodcasts. You can join the Shaban Ho tier. If you can afford it, we'd love to see you there.
Yes.
It's always a lot of fun, and there's a lot of interaction.
I will say that the Monday show is a whole separate show. It's
Yeah.
a whole nother show. It's the whole thing, but it's usually stuff we can't show on this channel.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. Whether it could be too risque, it could be against, what YouTube will allow in a live stream or whatever. So we're live on Mondays. You can watch the whole back catalog as well if you join up now. But like, for example, in that episode, there's a current way to buck the trend in China to get around the porn ban, because porn is banned in China. So it's involving these ladies.
It's like car reviews. Something rather risque and weird going on.
What's the right word? It's something. There's a buzz going on.
Yeah, and it's titillating.
It's titillating. Yes.
Yeah.
But we covered that, which is not even in the teaser.
Yeah.
So if you want to go check that out, go check it out.
Yeah. So check it out if you get the chance. Now I guess it's time for us to get back to the show, and it's time for Wu Mao Corner. This is where we talk about the Wu Mao, the haters out there. And since we're talking about bad actors and sort of nonsense movies and so on, this particular little segment over here is perfect. I don't know, do you remember Mr. Goldilocks?
Puff and I'll blow your house down, Goldilocks.
Guy does not like me or you. In fact, he wants to destroy us.
I believe he threatened to destroy us.
Yeah, he did.
Pretty sure you're not supposed to do that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Shall we see? Shall we take a look?
Well, let's set some context here.
Oh, you want to set some context? Okay. Go ahead. What's the context?
They're called white monkeys. And it's basically non-Chinese people in a role that China wants to use you for propaganda. Mm-hmm. There's white monkey propaganda. So they're like, if an American or a Canadian or a Russian or anybody that's not Chinese says that the Chinese government's good, then we'll give you a role in a movie or a show, or we'll boost your YouTube channel or whatever. We'll pay you, right? You work for us.
Shills.
It's a shill, right? And one of these guys took the role of General MacArthur.
It's hilarious.
In a Chinese government TV show, state
propaganda. We're not going to show too much of that, but the funniest part about it is after looking at the show, everybody got to keep their original voices except for him, and they dubbed him over with a Chinese man.
Person. So they took a Chinese guy and gave him like a southern accent.
Bad.
Yeah, and then like you said, all the foreigners, all the other people, not shills, like the people that took these acting roles.
Yeah, just the white monkeys in the job.
Even if they didn't have a native English accent, they were allowed to keep their voice.
Yeah, there's a lot of Russians and Egyptians and so on.
And like, I don't know, Bolivians or something. But the main role, they dubbed him with a Chinese person, which is baffling to me.
They obviously didn't like his accent.
I guess not.
Anyway, let's take a look at this little clip. It's pretty telling. All right, let's do it.
What can they do? Fight us with Chinese kung fu?
Someone like a scumbag Serpensa and his co-partner there, Lao Wai, when these scumbag guys are allowed to flourish, perpetuating their lies, this image of an evil China, and doing it masterfully with the skills and tools that they have to be able to manipulate and deceive people. It's there. I'd like to take it upon myself to destroy them, to stop them.
And the river will run red with blood.
They will sow what they reap.
That means bringing in more ground troops.
Okay, maybe there needs to be a little bit of context behind some of that stuff. Mr. Mario, who works is a senior fellow for the Center of China and Globalization.
Yeah, I didn't know about this. This is like a United Front organization?
Yeah, it's connected to the Chinese government, and it's unfortunately in many countries. Yeah. If you look at the members of the CCG, as it's called.
Claimed members, right?
That are on their website. They're in like Oxford University and they're all over American universities. They're all over in fact, what's his name? Kevin Rudd or whatever, former Australian Prime Minister's connected to them.
Well, they've connected.
Yeah, they've connected. Either way, you've got a lot of influential people around the world that are all part of this think tank, which is a Chinese government-organized, non-government organization, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it looks pretty
run by members
scary.
Of the United Front. It's very bad.
Yeah.
And I think I made a video about this. Anyone needs to look into this because it's a bad, massive influence operation helmed by the Chinese government, and it's all over the world.
But let's just say, I feel like that organization wants to be liked or tolerated.
Yeah.
Why is there because this Mario guy, he's the senior fellow for this organization.
Well,
right?
he keeps claiming he's a senior fellow.
Well, obviously he is, right?
Yeah.
You can't just say that, right?
Yeah, senior fellow, senior citizen fellow.
Why is he threatening us then? Because we
Wants
made
to
a
destroy us.
we made a joke about his public appearances on Chinese state media. That's fair game. That's on.
Anything you put out there, it's fair game.
It's just a joke.
Anyway,
I don't destroy someone over that.
You know what is?
That's like
it's
ridiculous.
a joke. You know it's a real joke though. Listen, see if you can spot it this time around.
And the river will run red with blood!
Not that. Okay, let's just listen to what he says.
We didn't dub that, but
No, that's how they did it. Okay, listen. Just listen. What does he say?
They will sow what they reap.
Did you get it?
what's that?
They will sow what they reap.
So
This
I guess
dude
we'll just
cannot
keep
get
what we do.
anything right.
So we basically
You sow what you reap.
take the crops.
So we reap
and we
something,
put them back in,
and then we sow it.
and then we grow again. I guess so.
I mean, this is the guy who thought the frog rode on the back of a scorpion and that Goldilocks is somehow involved with the three little pigs.
Yeah.
You can't get the simplest of sayings right.
Listen, I don't ever go after people in my videos or anything. There's a difference between going after someone and threatening someone and making a joke about a dumb performance.
Yeah.
Listen, they dubbed the dude's voiceover with someone else and made him MacArthur on propaganda. It's funny. It's a joke. They put him on state media to say fairy tales or like Aesop's fables, and he got it wrong. It's funny. It's a
funny.
joke.
It's hilarious.
You don't say you're going to destroy someone.
Oh, he's a very sort of horrible, confrontational, vile person.
It's not
on Twitter. He's
not
goes
correct.
after people all the time.
It's not correct.
Yeah.
And here's the deal.
And he deleted his Twitter account.
An American living in China working for the Chinese government, which is obvious at this point,
Yeah.
is threatening U.S. person.
Yeah.
Or
To
U.S.
destroy
people.
us. Yeah.
I don't think that's appropriate.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Anyway, moving on. We just thought that'd be kind of funny to share. And the communist leprechaun made a cameo as well.
That means spreading in more ground troops.
That's actually funny. We found this. This is on it's called Red Star Over China.
Yeah.
And it's a documentary they did about congratulating and remembering the PLA's efforts to do communist stuff.
So they dressed him up. He actually kind of looks like Super Mario. Doesn't he just look like he should be jumping on a mushroom? Anyway, my favorite part of this is he's hammering with a rubber mallet. He's hammering a piece of wood, and there's no nail or anything. Because they do this reenactment stuff. This is kind of popular in the Chinese countryside.
Yeah.
You know, where there were famous battles and stuff. They will reenact these so-called battles, and they had to build a bridge in a short amount of time. So they'll pretend to hammer nails. But it's...
What is that? Like the slip. Oh, he doesn't even hit the wood.
He's like tapping it. It's ridiculous, okay? It's a rubber mallet, and he's hitting a piece of wood with a rubber mallet.
Use this music.
I know.
This is your masterful deception technique, right? You're good at it.
Yeah. Well, even Mr. Goldilocks doesn't like it.
No.
No, he shut down that performance.
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
Take a joke, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be that serious.
Yeah, so that's Wumao Corner for today. Just a little bit of fun, poking a little bit of fun. And so we're going to go directly into Worldview, which, where is it over here? Worldview, which is kind of like what's new, but everything to do with the world, specifically with regard to China. And we're going to start out with something that we've already covered, which is this US jet thing.
Oh, it's just because I put it in the news. But you guys know.
The thing is, it is a big deal.
It is.
And it just bears mentioning again that these kind of irresponsible maneuvers by the Chinese fighter jets could spark off a conflict.
Yeah, for sure.
And they really are pushing their luck.
Sure.
I mean, China will say that America's pushing its luck with its freedom of movement exercises.
Yeah.
But that's international airspace. It's been agreed upon for the longest time.
Sure.
They didn't just suddenly come along and say, hey, we're just going to start flying in your airspace. It's like, no, we're going to fly in international airspace.
Yeah.
It's been agreed that it's international airspace by an international body.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not just America decided that. It's like tons of countries, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of which, China sails warships near Guam and warning to U.S. over Taiwan. And guess what the response is?
What?
Go for it. It's international waters.
Yes.
What we do, it's what everybody does, you dumbass.
Yep.
Stop overreacting and because you know what, they've drank their own Kool-Aid to the point now where they're like, no one's allowed in any sovereign water.
Sure.
It's international waters, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You do it all the time when you're fishing.
Yeah, they send their fishing fleets all over the world to destroy the ocean.
Wolf Wario.
Wolf Wario. Yes.
David.
It's Wolf Wario. Dude, that's perfect. Because he does not look like a friendly Mario character. He kind of looks, he is Wolf Wario.
Tell me he's not Wario.
He's Wario.
He's kind of Waluigi, though, isn't he?
No.
Because he's skinny.
No, not him.
Oh, you're talking about him.
Yeah,
he's Wolf Wario.
Yeah, he's Wolf Wario.
And Waluigi.
Yeah, exactly. This is a perfect little team.
Duo.
Yeah.
They're like our mirror image. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's this?
It's a
Jüri sighting. Look at that.
Brisbane,
but you
Australia.
can't see it because I'm in front of it. There it is.
Yeah. Jüri sighting in Brisbane. It looks like Australia has been overrun with Jüri.
Yeah, Jüri's just there now.
Almost all the sightings we get, if you see any other places, posted on our subreddit, but we only pretty much get Australia these days.
Yeah.
They love Jüri there.
And west coast of America.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
We've exhausted those, though.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that brings us to, of course, our Q&A section, which is called Yamcha. This is where I get to chill out, we get to chill out, I get to loosen the tie, and we answer your super chats, and we keep it up on the weekend, and we cut it out of the show on Monday, so you can watch it live now, you can watch it over the weekend, and Monday, after it's cut out, you can still watch it if you're a patron.
Yeah.
So if you head over to patreon.com/ADV podcasts, doesn't matter what tier you join, you will always be able to see the full show with the Q&A. Uncut, literally. Yep. And you also get access to our Discord server.
That's right.
Any tiers. Yeah. So go head over if you feel the need. Anyway, I guess I can loosen my tie and we can get started. And for those of you who are not watching on the weekend or live, stay awesome.
Yeah. David Lopan says, fun film fact. Tom Cruise has a center tooth. And we know that. He has one tooth in the center. It's very weird. And once you see it, you'll never not see it.
Yep.
It's very unique, though. Jim Flagg, can you drop a Don't Talk Cripe for me?
Certainly can.
Don't talk tribe.
There we are.
Gabriel Keane says, here's my weekly contribution. Thanks for giving me appreciation for Asian food and culture that I have today. I hope that one day we can meet for drinks and how at the port of Dandong.
Okay, yeah, I love that.
Port of Dandong.
Well, at 1203 says, don't talk cripe, just do it.
Okay, well, do I have to?
Don't talk tribe.
Okay, all right. We don't want to just make it soundbite day. Do we have some questions?
Yeah, of course. Sujata Mastani says it looks like Conquering Southern China here. Oh, I'm getting throwback to my whoosh. It was real whoosh back then.
Yeah, yep.
Hontus Farmer, thank you very much. David Lopan says, gentlemen, check out the musician named DJ Timmy Trumpet. This dude is really talented. He puts on full festival level performances in his living room. And David, like I always say, I got to be skeptical and a little careful about your recommendations.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it nonetheless.
Yeah, thank you.
Check it out. Ichikami says, I already read that. Gillisell, thank you very much. Peter Tubbs, that's very generous. If you have a question, let us know. But that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much, Peter. Hontus Farmer says, on the blue camouflage, they expect them to swim to Taiwan. It'll help them.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's true. They'll blend right in.
Yeah, they will.
Venus Supreme, how's the China-India border conflict going? Looks like that's been resolved temporarily.
Yeah. They always do. They get together and they have talks afterwards and they trade the soldiers back if they've captured any.
Yeah.
It's always just a ridiculous situation, though.
It is, yeah. Danger Dan, thank you very much. Brian Kane, Winston, have you ever heard about the anti-apartheid activist from Namibia named Adolf Hitler Uonoa?
No.
Uonona.
No, I don't think so.
And on that note, Shinian Kwaila. Why has it got to be on that note, Brian?
I don't know if I have heard about him.
Shinian Kwaila means Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Anthony Saints, can the CCP take responsibility for anything? No, absolutely
no, never. They never have.
They would dissolve.
They've never taken responsibility for a single bad action, and that's very telling right there. There's been so much disaster in China when it comes to the famines of Mao Zedong, and the family planning, one-child policy, and just so many messes. Okay, not once has the CCP said, "Oh, actually, you know what? Like we made a mistake."
Yeah,
they don't do that. It's just like, yeah, no, we meant to do that, and it's good for you, so just suck it up. Look what they've done with the COVID thing. They're just like, oh, it's our wisdom and, conviction. This is why we opened up.
There's an MXPX song. It's an old, pop punk band. They have a song called Responsibility, and it goes, responsibility, what's that? Responsibility, not quite yet. And that's whenever I hear about the CCP, that's what I play in my head.
Oh, okay.
Because they're always pushing it off.
I just play that song that... That's pretty much the CCP anthem to me right now.
That. Ultra Primarch says, I'm in the Navy, and I find that the plan pick hilarious. Oh, the People's Liberation Navy. Oh, and thank you for your service.
Yeah.
David Brooks, what's your favorite Christmas present ever?
This is a tough one, isn't it?
I like what you got me this year. That was good.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of like what you got me as well. It's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, I got a cool. He made me a sign I'm working on a little side project which has got to do with old retro tech. So he got me a cool sign, a neon sign.
Yeah.
It's actually LED, but it's looks like neon.
And Winston got me some very rare action figures that I was looking for.
Old Tomb Raider ones.
Tomb Raider 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love it.
Super cool.
What's the best Christmas movie or special? I think the best Christmas movie is A Christmas Story. It's my favorite, yeah.
I gotta agree with you. And
funny.
And I'd never seen it. I guess because it's not a big thing in South Africa. It's an American movie. So I saw it when I was doing my road trip in 2016. I was staying at one of my friends, actually somebody I met in China, staying at his place in Maryland, and we watched it again. I thought it was amazing. So I love watching that. It's great.
That's a good one, yeah.
Also Die Hard.
Die Hard's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Peter Tubbs, Happy New Year's from a half-breed Chinese in Alabama. Okay. Don't call yourself a half-breed. I'll call you a half Chinese, right? Mm-hmm. I love your shows. Stay awesome, fellas. Thank you very much, Peter. Props to being in Alabama and not hating me. Because let's just say I've said some things about Alabama that I wish I could take back.
When last were you in Alabama?
2003.
Okay, yeah.
It's a while ago.
I stopped at a Walmart in Alabama. I don't think I did much else there. I drove through basically is when I did my work. And I saw some very big people there.
Big hearts.
Yeah, well, they need to pump anything around that system. I'll tell you what. You see those.
You know what I want to say?
What?
Thank you so much for taking this burden off me because now you are the enemy of Alabama.
I liked what I saw in Alabama, but I got to tell you, man, some big people there. That's all I got to say.
With big hearts.
Yeah. Because they need to be to pump anything around those big systems of theirs.
Go again. I'm trying to save you. I didn't want you to suffer what I've suffered.
Dude, it's...
And by the way, I didn't say anything bad. I always, for some reason,
you choose Alabama as the rural America.
Yeah, it's like whenever I talk about rural America, I've never said anything derogatory. I've never said Alabama, that place is horrible. But whenever I go, if you talk about an undereducated place in America, I always pick Alabama. Or under, lower income, Alabama. I don't know why my mind always just goes there.
Switch it up sometimes.
I gotta switch it up. I'll go to New Mexico. How about New Mexico?
Nebraska.
How about Idaho?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think Idaho's pretty rich these days. It's very expensive to move there.
Yeah, I suppose.
Remember, I was looking into it because California was too expensive. A lot of people moving to Idaho.
To be fair, Pennsylvania is way cheaper than Idaho. That's for sure. At least where we live.
Yeah.
Shannon Gordon, thank you very much. David Brooks, W.S. Winston, was the animated Christmas special The Snowman broadcast. Oh, it says, was the animated Christmas special The Snowman broadcast in South Africa?
No.
On YouTube. So please share it with C-Milk if he doesn't know about it. Okay, I guess it's a South African special.
I don't remember it.
You guys shouldn't have a movie called The Snowman because you don't get snow.
No, we don't.
You should have the scrub,
the bushman,
the scrub plants. Scrubby.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have that, but we got penguins though.
Yeah, that's true. You could be the penguin,
Cape Town
penguin man.
That'd be lame. I don't even know what we used to. I guess I can't even remember what Christmas movies were popular. It's when I was growing up, I can't remember.
Rudolph and
the first time I ever saw that stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer thing was this year.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because I showed it to my kid. I was trying to,
show her
I know the song and everything, but I'd
course.
never seen the movie before.
Of course.
Yeah, it's weird.
Lewis Randall says, do you see yourselves going to China again if CCP collapses or reform to a good democratic government system? Yeah, that's one of the most common questions we get.
Oh, absolutely.
What's the first thing you do? Probably get some crack noodles. You know what I mean? Just sit down, have some beers and crack noodles.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Go check out our old homes.
Yes, and invite our Chinese friends and be like, so good to see you again.
Exactly.
By the way, he says, thumbs up from Guam. And Guam is right near the People's Liberation Navy incursion there. So it's cool that you were close.
Yeah.
Chinese Pride says, did you see the Philippines' response to China's recent aggression? The People's Liberation Navy went beyond the areas that were contested and threatening their sovereignty. Yes, I saw that. And I'm actually talking to some Filipino people right now that helped me with my last Philippines video.
Yeah.
And they're really upset about it. So it's something I'll talk about soon. Chinese Pride also says, allow flights in and ban both PRC flights and passports. No, I think they should just force testing on any country that has a big outbreak. Simple. Very simple. So simple, actually.
It is. It's like, hey, everybody knows right now the majority of people in China have caught COVID. Don't just let them fly everywhere.
Stan from Poland, friend of the channel, says, try Kentucky, much more worn down than Alabama. I'm just going to stop calling states out.
Alabama, one thing I remember, other than the Walmart with the large people, is a lot of trees.
Yeah, there's lots of trees all over the country.
But I'm just saying, like,
Look out the window.
Yeah, but like, when you're driving for days, you see the landscape change.
Oh, yeah, of course. I love that about America.
And I just remember, like, you drive and it's just massive amounts of, like, very tall trees next to the highway for, like, ever. It's different to, like, the desert and stuff.
Yeah, I see it, man. Yeah.
It just struck me as being interesting.
Gotcha. Yeah, most of the east where we are here, you've noticed, like, northeast is all trees, but...
Yeah,
I guess when you get to like a warmer place, you expect it not to be all tree-like.
Yeah, it was just not in my mind, because I know you for so long. Alabama's like one big trailer park.
Stop! I've never said that.
Then but you like the way you talk about it. In my mind, it's like Jim Bob with like his cap and his dungarees and a dog and a shotgun on a porch with sweet tea or something. And then
I told you the first time I got a lot of shit about that, right? Like I got so much shit about it because. I don't know. Like people got really mad because I said something like, if you look at the education standard by state, you can compare it to different countries. Like for example, New York is very high on the global standard, and a place like, and I said the Alabama would be somewhere, and I pulled up a map. It was like compared to like I don't know, Brazil or something. Right. Anyway, much lower than like maybe like England or something, right? So I got a lot of shit after that. That was back when our YouTube channel was small. Yeah. And like pretty soon after that, I was in Hong Kong and I ran into this guy, a really nice guy on the metro. And he's like, hey, C-Milk, big fan. I was like, cool. Takes a picture or whatever. And he's like, I was like, where are you from, dude? And he's like, Alabama. And I thought I was going to die. I thought I was about to get beat up.
Yeah,
exactly. He could kick my ass.
Sure.
All those people in Alabama could kick my ass.
No, but I was pleasantly surprised, even though I just drove through and I stopped a couple times for like gas or whatever. It was a very not trailer park looking place.
No, for sure. And Steven Hansen, I'm gonna quote you on this because I agree with you. Upstate New York, my stomping grounds, is just like Alabama. There you go. You know what? I'll say it.
Okay. Well, that's it. It's like familiarity breeds contempt.
I have no contempt. Bring this back to you. You're the one using Alabama for your examples.
What? No. Anyway, let's continue.
Yes.
You know what? We have to go make a pilgrimage to Alabama.
We will, and we'll pay our respects.
And we're gonna have to go seriously.
And we'll leave our Bud Light cans on the.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, isn't it Pabst Blue Ribbon more of a thing there?
That's hipster now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I think we need to go to Alabama and see some good stuff in
yes.
the state.
We'll do like a bet. Any Alabamites or whatever they're called. Alabamans.
Yes.
Alabamans. I think it's Alabamans.
Okay.
Any Alabamans that want to take us around, take us around. Yeah. We'd love to see like the best of.
Tell us where to go.
I'd love to go. I love fishing.
Yeah.
I would probably love Alabama because I love hunting, fishing, outdoor stuff. I probably love it.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from Alabama.
Yeah. How are you settling into? David Brooks says, "How are you settling into U.S. culture? Anything, Winston? Anything different in the way you speak? What was your first cheesesteak like? He eats cheesesteaks more than I do now."
Yeah. Hey, look, it's weird. It really was no culture shock to me. America, you have to understand that because of the American soft power. In other words, the movies and the music and everything. I grew up with the same movies and music and cultural references that you did.
Yes.
And I think you will find that a lot of the English-speaking world knows exactly what America's like, just through the movies and the music and the pop culture that comes out of America. And I've always been a huge fan of American cars and things like that. So for me, when I came to America, what surprised me the most about America was how polite everybody is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't expect that.
Yeah.
Everyone in the movies is trying to be a hard ass when you watch American movies. You think that like there's a lot of crime and like these dodgy people walking around, I'm walking here or whatever, all this stuff. You
think Waluigi.
Yeah, exactly. So you have an idea that it's kind of like a tough, rough and tough place or something, but it's actually the most tame, polite, nice place I've ever been. Like people are so nice.
Sure.
Even compared to like London or wherever.
Yeah,
you expect London to be all nice, but it's actually it's the other way around. London's like, oh, bravo, like give me your iPod or whatever, try to mug you and stuff.
Give me a VCR.
Exactly.
Because I carry my VCR.
Yeah, you do. But what I'm trying to say is that that's the one thing that surprised me is how nice everyone is.
Yes. For sure. It doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah, it's an awesome country. Yeah.
But I love how different every state is, which is really cool.
Yeah, like Alabama.
Like Alabama. I'm actually fascinated with Alabama. We're going to Alabama.
Yeah, we gotta go. Let's book a trip. Let's do a road trip.
We won't be able to tell anyone, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll do it. We'll send pictures.
Yeah, Billy Mezek says, Happy New Year's, gents. Been following up for 2 months or so and got the videos on Vimeo, watching some of your both back catalogs. 2 thumbs up. Thank you very much, Billy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Eastwood 400. Winston's haircut is dapper. What about mine?
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Any New Year's resolutions? Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Actually, the trick with New Year's resolutions is you never tell anyone, because then you won't do it, because you've already got the satisfaction of having told people.
Oh, really?
Psychological, yeah. If you tell people your goals and you make it all public and stuff, you're less likely to complete it.
I think it's true. I think the goals, and we've discussed this already, it's something that you guys will probably be able to notice.
Yeah, that's very simple. You will notice, and we don't want to tell. I'm telling you right now, if you tell people your goals, you fail.
Yeah, and it's something you'll notice in the work we do and other things.
Yes.
Like hopefully, well, not hopefully, we are planning to make some big changes in 2023.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good year.
And changes that we believe will benefit the work that we do and hopefully benefit our audience.
I agree.
You guys are the most important, so you'll be able to tell us if we're steering off course a little bit, and you can just slap us back in the right direction, but we think you'll like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sebek is talking about London. He says, "Can I have the time?" Gets stabbed 47 times.
Exactly. That's a bit of a culture shock, because if you grow up,
London is a little rough.
You're like Paddington Bear or whatever, and you think it's all like, oh, top of the morning to you, and Big Ben and stuff, and you get there and it's literally just like,
it's pretty rough.
Yeah. It's not what you think.
You know what was rough? What shocked me was Berlin. Because I always think, America has the most, grungy, homeless areas or whatever. But Berlin shocked me when I went there when I was a teenager. Yeah. Peak White Monkey says, I suspect that they know of a new, worse variant that they want to share with the world.
Well, I mean, no, maybe not. But, at the end of the day,
jump to conclusions.
With this sudden influx of infections, there is a chance that mutations are happening and that there's some new variant that could be spreading. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we have to do testing and be very vigilant, I think. We just don't need that.
We don't need another pandemic.
After the rest of the world's finally kind of got to a point where it's kind of okay, we just don't need a huge flood of infections going anywhere.
Let's just not do it.
Yeah.
AI Hollywood says, are the A4 student protesters still following up with a catastrophe with infections and criticizing the CCP, or have they been crushed already? Most people have been crushed.
A lot of them got what they wanted as well, and just because, the dropping of the zero COVID actually prevented them from continuing to protest.
Yes, it wasn't what's it called? It wasn't actually capitulation from the government.
No.
Believe that.
And there's another thing. The infections were happening anyway. Before zero COVID was ended, the outbreaks were suddenly actually just becoming unstoppable.
Yeah.
And this is another reason why a lot of people speculate that they dropped it, because they didn't want to show that the zero COVID thing was a failure.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it was still in full force and everybody got infected anyway,
true,
it would prove that it was just a bunch of nonsense. So.
True. Yeah. Sean Wyland says, Biological Leninism by Spandrell, CCP's 1D chess.
Okay.
Chest, I said.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Saints. Hey, did the CCP just pivot from COVID? I mean, I guess. Cindy Chapman, question: did you not wonder if China let people fly out when they knew it was in Wuhan on purpose? I'm sure they did.
You know, of course they did. When the outbreak happened, remember, they shut down all domestic flights.
They also went on the news and said you'll go to jail if you say that there's any pneumonia spreading around or any disease and that COVID doesn't exist.
And they shut down domestic flights.
Yeah.
They would not allow. They shut down Wuhan.
They said that on the news.
Yeah, they shut down Wuhan. No in and out flights of Wuhan, except for international.
You could go internationally.
Go overseas, spread it. But you're not allowed to move around the country. They knew. Of course they knew. And remember, people were bragging about taking fever medicine to get their fevers down and going to like France or whatever. And like, haha, I made it through customs. They didn't notice I was sick.
Yep.
I mean, come on, guys. That's just irresponsible. You know, those kind of people that bragged about that stuff, they should have been arrested.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I wonder if they were.
Oh, I would hope so.
Doc Saltington says, it's like the CCP wants as many other citizens to get as possible to get sick and spread it out of spite for the protests. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I just want to look at this. I think, Doc, you're not wrong in a certain aspect, but I think everyone is wrong in one thing. Everyone that's trying to come up with a solution for this, or like why this is happening, because everyone's trying to find some reason, right? Big brain.
Yeah.
You're all wrong. And I'm not right. But why I'm right about this is there is no plan.
Yes, the CCP doesn't have a plan.
They don't have a plan.
So everyone's like, oh, they wanted to do this, they wanted to do that.
They want to spread it, they want to do this, and they want to... what they found is a new variant, and they're hiding it, and they're going to move it.
No, they're just sitting back and letting nature take its course, and then they're going to be like, we planned that, whatever the outcome.
China is chaos, and they don't plan anything. No. There's no plan.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Except for the Navy, yeah.
Put that through a military lens, put it through an economic lens. In China, everything's made up.
Yeah.
It's just a knee-jerk reaction and made up.
Correct.
So always keep that in mind. If you haven't figured that out yet and you're still investing in China, then I'm afraid there's a lake.
Yeah.
There's a lake probably with your name
go
on it.
dip your toes in that lake.
Cindy Chapman, how do you think Chinese New Year travel will affect the spread? I mean, everyone's going to get it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, like we mentioned last time, is people go back to their hometowns to visit family and they get together in big family groups, and that includes all the grandparents and all the elderly people who are the most vulnerable in China.
For sure.
So it's unfortunate.
Guan Jiapo says, greetings from Toronto, Canada. Happy New Year's, guys.
Thank you.
Another year of fun and cringe. Siga Chen Mian, Siga Chen Mian.
Oh yeah, Siga Chen Mian.
We never really covered Siga Chen Mian.
We got to do it again.
Koala1203 says, I wonder how Darth Ballsack would react to the resurgence of COVID.
Oh, you mean this guy? We got to get the old Ballsacks back. I prefer them.
I think the new ones are great. I think it's fresh.
So?
Yeah.
I mean, we can mix it up.
Quenches my thirst.
Oh, it does. You mean like this?
Yeah. Watson's.
Watson's.
Harrison G says, hey guys, now that COVID is supposed to open up soon, I'd like to visit family in China next year with my girlfriend. She's Mexican. I want to make sure it'll be a safe trip for both of us. Any thoughts? Is that a bad idea? I honestly think traveling to China is not good right now.
Not right now.
No. I mean, if you're low profile, you got no online presence.
Sure. I mean, it's like, I don't want to stop anyone from going. Go. If you want to go, go. You'll be okay. But right now, with the COVID outbreaks, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because you're really just entering into the fray.
You get it.
Yeah.
Dragon's Fourth Child. My mom asked me about fever medicine in Germany. Yeah. Will Smith says, we have to make Daigou illegal. Isn't there already laws in the books about price gouging and products not meant for resale? I reported a woman locally. Yeah, it's
the thing is,
it is work.
It's an unfortunate thing in capitalism, right?
Yeah.
If there's a demand, you sell.
That's how it works, right?
But it is absurd to the point where if it's affecting people's lives, like with the infant formula in Australia, I'll use that example. When the mothers couldn't buy infant formula, local mothers couldn't buy infant formula for their own children because the Chinese demand was outstripping everything off the shelves. That's not okay.
My point is that I'm as free market as it comes, right?
But it's still illegal, remember?
Because for sure.
When they're sending it back, they're not going through customs, they're not paying taxes, they do it through dodgy means. Yeah.
Right? My point is, and I don't want to harp on about this, but I think that I'm as free market as it comes, but when there's a country that isn't a free country, that has caps on every aspect of life and caps their own economy and comes up with their own restrictions, implements those restrictions, but allows their citizens to go take advantage of those other situations. I think that's not good.
No.
You know, if the Chinese government gave their citizens freedom and we didn't have to deal with all this and they actually could participate internationally, they could go on the internet without a VPN, not go to jail, they could protest their government, they could democratically elect their officials and all that stuff, I wouldn't care. I actually wouldn't care.
It's so scummy though. Like anyone, and I'm talking about like PS5 scalpers, anyone who goes and buys everything, you know, just because, you know, come on, dudes. Those kind of people, scum.
Guru says, long-time watcher, first-time catcher of your live stream.
Well, nice to have you here live. Thank you.
Yes. Always listen to your streams on my commute to work. Probably looking like a freaking Subway Wonder.
Hey, do I look like a Subway Wonder, man?
Probably do.
Do you work in like construction or?
They're from Sweden, so maybe they, I don't know.
I find some countries people have to wear those like high-vis vests and stuff.
That's what I'm thinking. Northern Europe probably got to wear those vests.
Like if you were just a pedestrian even.
Yeah. Like I heard, if you walk around Stockholm, you need to wear a reflective vest in the middle of the day. Especially in the middle of the day. So
I'm pretty sure not.
No, it's so you don't have to like get hit by a car, or you know you can see the other person.
Well, I know like in the UK and stuff, when people ride motorbikes, they often have those reflective jackets, and you think they're policemen, but it's just normal. People just do it, you know.
In Sweden, they actually have to wear yellow glasses.
Do they?
Huge ones that reflect back so you can see the other person. Yeah.
Nonsense.
Crazy. Sweden's wild.
Nonsense.
Actually love Sweden. Jokes aside.
Yeah.
Girl Mad says, can I get tongue swallow?
Oh, you said
the walrus.
Okay. Follow up.
Shout out to Just David. Call at 12:03. Got to get back to work, guys. I wish both of you a happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
Praying that all of us are not going to be living in the fear. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
But I can give you this.
I love the guy. His expression is that he found something like special.
He's like, ooh.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, what's that? A frog. I think I shall piss on it. What the hell? I was like, that caught me off guard, I'll be honest.
Seriously. Apparently, Tongsuola is our current loudest soundbite.
Oh, it's still too loud? Yeah, some people were complaining about that. Let me take a look. I'll hit you with it one more time. Yeah, that is a bit loud.
Whoa.
Take that one down. How about the follow-up, though? Okay, it's better now. I've taken it down. Should be all right.
Ultra Primark, good morning from Japan. Not surprised to see the Chinese knockoff of Top Gun embarrass them.
Yeah, they took it down. They're just like, it's so bad we're not going to actually release it. Even though it was a shoo-in, they still would have made all the money because it's mandatory pretty much for everyone to go watch it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Fight Club, Minions, Cars, they had to change the endings, remember?
Yeah.
Happy New Year, happy ballsack.
Oh, okay, sure thing.
David Lopan says, what are the metrics for ADV's growth this year? Actually, we might post that.
Not a bad idea.
We had a nice report.
Chuck it on the Patreon.
We grew a lot this year.
Yeah, thanks to all of you.
Yeah. And actually, our biggest contributor to growth was our special report that we did on the protests.
Yes. Yeah.
That was astronomical. It's crazy.
And then it got age restricted and we lost all momentum on it.
Yep.
That's been happening a lot, by the way. Happened on our ADV China video.
Anything,
that we released yesterday. It got age restricted.
We had to pull it down.
We had to pull it down. We will be re-releasing it once we've tried to make it YouTube friendly, I guess. Or it's awful.
Shannon Gordon, thank you very much. Chan Wayne says, what if this is actually how they test the plane because the stolen blueprint didn't say remove pilot first?
Yes, it's entirely possible. That scene is hilariously bad, though.
Love it. Jay said, which landscape looks better for you guys, northern or southern China? Totally different.
Southern for me. Actually, it's hard to say.
I love Inner Mongolia.
Yeah, that's a great change of scenery, but I feel like if you're there all the time...
I loved it when I was there.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't it just get boring because it's just flat and open?
I suppose something really refreshing about it, though, because China's such a cacophony of like noise and stuff.
Yeah.
But that being said, because that's special to me. But yeah, like Guizhou was absolutely.
Oh, Guizhou
beautiful.
blew me away.
That's southern, so.
Yeah, I think Guizhou is probably the prettiest.
That and Yunnan, right?
Yeah. Southern China is very tropical. You get a lot of forests and so on.
Jungle.
But unfortunately, you also get a lot of industry and construction, which ruins it.
Yeah.
I got a drone shot that I took, remember when we were driving near Huizhou there, where they're obviously building a high-speed rail or something, and they just destroyed all these mountains in the way. They
They rip them apart.
Yeah.
Mountains in the way.
So you got like a beautiful landscape, but it was just destroyed. It was awful. It was like dystopian.
It is. Dale LePan, it's the pilot's time of the month.
Because of the blood all over? Okay.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Runs with scissors, born...
What?
I don't know. I don't know the reference.
Okay.
P. White Monkey, Kermit P. Frog.
Okay.
You just can't make that up.
No, you can't. That's to this day one of the most ridiculous things.
I love it.
Yeah.
Walter Deadman says, man, this Godzilla Park movie has some ASMR qualities to it. Is that the voice of Subway Wonder Man dubbing it? Yeah,
sounds like it, yeah.
Give us a Subway.
Let's run away. Yeah.
Hey, do I look like a Subway Wonder Man?
That's another person they dubbed with the Chinese person's voice.
Yeah.
Very weird.
I think they do that if they don't like your voice.
Yeah, if it's like doesn't match the aesthetic.
But they're also very bad at sound design, so maybe the microphone was off or it's just too much background noise.
Could be that.
Yeah.
Predcon 1, in Australia, cane toads get a lot worse than pee. Yeah, you guys kill them because they're not supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. Gabriel Keane, Piss Frog was like, Ayo Tong Swallow.
Yeah, he was.
Draco Pole.
He's like this.
Draco Pole says the new Peter Gabriel song, Piss That Frog. What
the hell?
Kurt Schultz, are there any changes in public opinion in China regarding Russia and Ukraine? Not really. Russ Wolf, it's actually not been covered very well. Is Yoku safe or is it a spy app like TikTok? Don't download Yoku. Do not download any.
All Chinese apps right now are a risk. You know.
Don't do it.
Once that app's on your phone, a lot of them they ask permissions for tracking you and access to your microphone and things like that. And if any app asks for that, it's bad. Especially if it's a Chinese app, that means that they have access to listen to you at any time. For instance, you have to be careful.
Light Seeker, in your guys' experience on a personal level, how often do Chinese people sincerely apologize when an apology is warranted? It's less, I guess.
To save face, they won't.
It's about face saving.
But you can kind of infer that there's an apology. Yeah. If you know how it all works, you'll still you'll still be like, no, you're not wrong, but but they'll be like, yeah, don't worry, you could work around it.
Sure.
It's complicated.
JM Mars Desk, 57% of your audience is so old they can only drip on their shoes. So they're insinuating that everyone would piss on the frog. Why is everyone pissing on? That's bullshit. Yeah. 57% of people said no, they would not piss on the frog.
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
James Nyland says Jinsa Lin Yua, which
golden shower frog. Yeah.
Imagine it's your first time in the show, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't watch it from the beginning. You're like, what's this China show thing? Oh, it says China news every Friday.
Yeah.
Click it, and the first thing you see is a dude going, ooh, pissing on a frog.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting.
It would be interesting.
I'd subscribe.
Chinese Pride says, would you like me to be the frog?
Yeah, nice.
Chase Cutting Kitchen, favorite Mario game? Absolutely Super Mario World on Super Nintendo. I don't think there's any comparison.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
But yeah.
It's tough to say.
I played that new Switch one. That was great, too.
Oh, that was very nice. Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I've never been a Nintendo type type person. Mario Kart and stuff, not into that. The original Mario Brothers obviously was cool. I'm gonna say Super Mario 3.
It's a great one.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
I do think Super Mario World is just such a robust game. I don't know if you played it on Super Nintendo. It's amazing.
No, I never had a Super Nintendo, so I just don't have nostalgia. Number 2 as well, which is that Doki Doki Panic. I like that. The music and everything, the vibe.
That's a great one too.
Cool.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Chase Cutting Kitchen, thank you very much. Crap. Sorry. Russell Thander, did you hear that the U.S. shot down a J-11 yesterday? Oh, shush.
No, they didn't.
Ross Wolf says, get your sayings backwards if you're under duress.
What? Yeah, because, old Mr. Goldilocks always gets everything wrong.
Oh!
So what you reap.
You think he's under duress?
No.
No, he's the one threatening to destroy us. Fellow of China Center for Globalization threatening U.S. persons. That's going to look good. Mm-hmm. That's going to look real good.
Yeah.
Farah.
Yeah, it's far out, dude.
It's far out.
I really think that sometimes it's good to quit when you're ahead, so to speak, or behind.
For sure. PB, Mr. Mallet seemed to have a rather fancy watch.
Mr. Mallet? Mr. Mallet had a fancy watch? Let's take a look. I'll bring it back in. Let's find out.
More ground troops.
We're like spying on CCP officials with fancy watches.
Yeah. That's not a fancy watch, is it?
Yeah, it might be. Oh, it looks like my watch.
Probably. No. For him, it'll be like a Huawei,
like inspired,
12,
earnest, honest watch.
Yes, honest
Harmony.
Watch. Yes, gold Harmony Dragon.
Harmony
watch.
Dragon Gold. Hard to say.
It's hard to say.
No.
Sometimes this could be a fun thing to do. Yeah.
Ivan the Terrible. Thank you very much. Patrick T. Is it safe to say that absolutely every YouTuber working out of China is now working for the CCP, i.e. YouTuber in China that does food tours?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you have to understand, especially within the last 3 years, travel in China has been so restrictive due to the zero COVID policy that you can't just like hop on a train and go to a tourist destination. Chinese people haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say working for the CCP. What I would say is that anyone
doing
that has
a job
big
for
audience, anyone that has a big audience, there's a lot of YouTubers that are working for the CCP as basically like foreign agents.
Sure.
But and to say everyone's doing this disingenuous, I would say if there's a big YouTuber that's really popular doing food tours in China, they're being allowed to do so under the watch of
they're
the CCP.
doing a job for the CCP. Because here's the thing. If you're going to go to like Yunnan to some like, or Suzhou or something, to some like tourist area and sample all the interesting cuisines.
And film it.
You can't do that. Chinese people have not been able to do that because it's such a hassle. All the QR codes things, and when you arrive in the next city, you have to quarantine.
It's probably been set up.
Yeah, so when it's like, oh, there's a foreigner who's going to this place to try something, it's because it's a promotional thing. They want to do it. So it's set up by the government, and they allow them to go there. Everything's been organized for it, right?
That's the way to say it. It's just there are proper like working for the CCP agents.
Yeah.
But then there's also ones that are just kind of taking advantage of the fact that they want foreigners to do food tours. So.
Yeah, of course. And they will be independent people, but the thing is, even if they are independent, they have to toe the party line. So they're still beholden to the Chinese government. They're still under the thumb of the Chinese government, and they will never say. There are certain truths that they cannot say, certain realities that they cannot show. So in a way, they still end up working for the CCP.
Jackal N says, did you know that Kevin Rudd will be the next ambassador to the United States?
Yeah, the same guy who works or is affiliated with the Center for China and Globalization.
I mean, maybe he just did a speech back in
They've
the day.
got him on the website.
I know, but he didn't put it there, right? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying. We have to,
that needs to be looked into.
Yeah, but you know how China works.
Yeah.
They will take claim over anything and be like, for example, we saw someone the other day. They were using him as some sort of expert on China's economy or something. And they said, blah, 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 his name, former elected official of the U.S. And you look it up.
In Washington State.
He wasn't a former elected official.
No.
He was on a health board for some tiny little town, right? Ages ago, right?
Yeah.
But now he's a former elected official that can talk about China's economy, right?
Yeah.
So they do like conflate things.
They do. But
about.
Still, I think it needs to be looked into. Why is that
why
Kevin
is that
Rudd?
there?
Why is he on the Center for China and Globalization's
Isn't
website?
that the United Front?
It is connected. It was started by members of the United Front. It's run by CCP officials, people that are party members.
Okay.
And
so if you're on that board, shouldn't you be a registered foreign agent?
I think so. Yeah.
Cortanio, last of his name, a Western acquaintance, still in the PRC, recently posted that the local government is now pushing preserved fermented Buddha's hand tea as COVID care. You know the Buddha's hand? That's a lemon.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, of course. Birdie Lane says, thanks for all the info.
Just had to put in a great, that's all.
Oh, no worries. Great work over the year. I was joking with my parents about Chabudua the other day. Wish you had another option than Patreon for Monday show access. try to figure something out, but that's all we got right now. It's very reliable for us.
Yeah, we'll keep looking at other options.
We're old patron hands. Eve 2, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Serve on. Always like y'all keep me up to date on the news since every country sucks up to them. Have a Happy New Year. Also, why is the name of the country blocked on Super Chat? No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, interesting.
Scarlet Pimpernel says, my brother and I finished your documentary. He said that you should have received some reward for it. Sadly underappreciated by the masses.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, China hates us for it, even though we made China look good. But probably the best promotion of China ever made.
Sure.
You know, we had people actually say that.
Yeah.
People.
Not many people get to see that side of China. And whenever you see supposedly the rural side of China or whatever, it's always some glossy fluff piece from the Chinese government.
And it's shit. No one watches it and everyone sees through it.
Yeah.
It was genuine, it was real, and it was something that we're so proud of, and we hope you guys can enjoy it too. The sale's almost done, by the way. If you go down below, you can watch both of our documentaries for half price.
Yeah.
And it's a box set. It's called Conquering China Box Set. Vimeo.com/ondemand/Conquering China Box Set.
Yeah, so, you know, in the new year, we will be, the price will go up. Yeah. But it'll still be available.
Yeah. My ridiculous, it's bad. Friday night is trying to show a metric buttload of edibles and a $70 tendy order. Great shows. If you're spending $70 on chicken tendies, I mean, you must be a big boy.
Oh, I mean,
More
either
power
that
to
or
you.
just very hungry.
Yeah. One COVID song, pretty please.
One COVID song.
I think he means.
Yeah. Oh man, please. That's almost as bad as that Huawei How. Huawei May.
It's very similar.
Yeah, pretty much. Enough. We'll put it together. Okay.
Old matey says, "Run away, run away." It's like Godzilla's like, "Run away."
Where is that part?
It's so good. I love that part.
Yeah, I'll dig around while you.
Foria says, currently watching your Conquering China series. Shows you how much the CCP lost when they made you leave the country. They don't allow anyone else to have their own viewpoint. Have a great 2023, guys. Honestly, I mean, China was going in a bad direction anyway. But that being said, like, they really made a massive mistake because we were there to promote China. We just didn't want to be led around by the government to do so. And we've changed thousands of people's minds about China in a positive way.
Yeah.
And yet they still demonize us. It's the dumbest, most stupid, backwards thing you can do. Because we're only here to help. We were.
Yeah, agreed. Anyway.
Let's run away.
Let's run away.
I love to say that we dubbed that, but we didn't.
No,
that's the official dub.
Their official dub. Yeah.
Let's run away. Dude Bub, I think Xi lifted all the restrictions so quickly because he knew a week prior that Omicron got out of hand. He just saved face for a zero COVID policy.
That's right.
Knee jerk, no plan. CCP doesn't have any plan. If you're watching this and you're in any leadership position, please get this to your head. In any part of the world, any government, whatever, China doesn't have a plan.
Nope.
Stop acting like they have a plan.
They don't have a plan.
Stop trying to spend billions of dollars adjusting to their plans. Deal with what China's doing now.
Yeah.
Treat them like they're acting.
Exactly.
Kyle K, do you know why the book 1984 isn't banned in China? It's just not popular, and it's not seen as. It's like kind of like why Star Wars is literally like anti-CCP propaganda if you wanted it to be. It's not banned because nobody sees it like that.
I think it's also because they see it as an instruction manual on how to run society. They're like, yes, please read this book because this is what we want.
This is what we want. Get used to it.
Yeah. Just, I mean, in the end, like, the good guys don't win.
No, it's a great example.
Yeah. The good guys don't win.
No, it's like, we will crush you.
Yeah, and so everybody read this. This is our society.
Yeah, this is the
Here's a handbook.
This is the ending.
You know, like when you start a new job and you get a set of the rules or whatever, you learn the ropes. That's book.
that. Yeah. Chinese Pride, would you? Oh, yeah, I already read that. Lou M, Happy New Year from Canada. Been a member for 16 months. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
FYI, any movie with Wang Yibo will be a hit. He's one of China's golden children. Has China influenced North Korea's aggression against South Korea? Probably. I mean, without China as their only ally, I think North Korea would be nothing.
Yeah, probably be South Korea now. It'd probably just be Korea.
Yeah, virtual art, Chinese game of Frogger, lol. Stop. I kind of love that guy. He seems likable.
Yeah.
Other than him pissing at a frog.
Yeah, I think we got to watch the rest of that movie.
I pretty much watched it in preparation for this.
Is it worth it?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen.
Okay, all right. Good.
I'd give it a 1. I'd give it a 1.5 out of 10.
Okay.
What does this say in Japanese? Light Seeker?
Borosaku.
Oh, okay, Ballsack. And Light Seeker says, "Hey, Simo, can you read this? What's this one say?"
What's that? Oh, that's Borosaku. Sorry, I was looking at that one.
Oh, okay. What's this one?
Pisoke.
Piss cookies.
Wait, cookie. No, it's not.
Oh.
I actually don't know. I
You
don't know
can
why.
read this though.
Yeah, I can. Piso, kyo, gisu. Piso kyo gisu. I don't know. Just do a translate. My eyes. I'm just.
Let me pull up translate here.
Don't know why my brain's not working right now.
Let me change. I gotta put it in Japanese.
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
Oh, Pinocchio gifts. That's what it is.
Oh, right.
I was
Pinocchio
confusing the so
Gotcha.
and no. Pinocchio gifts.
Which
There we
is-
go.
Yeah, we know that that's related.
Sorry, guys. This font and everything, and from this distance.
Walter Deadman, hearing that injury song so much, I expect some injury law firm just chilling from their office. That would
They
be
should.
a great injury law firm theme.
Yeah, this is the Pinocchio gifts. Yeah. It's in relation to old Borosaku. Yeah.
But tell me Tongsuola shouldn't be like a great...
Yeah, dude.
Hurt at work?
Yeah.
Yo, Tongsuola.
That's another weird thing about America is you always see those signs like injured, and then there's like some dude in a suit.
Dude, America's
Injured, cold,
it's
whatever.
the most litigious ass piece of shit
I
place.
know,
dude.
I know,
They're
like-
suing each other all freaking
Yeah.
time. It's ridiculous.
Luckily, I haven't come
Senkins.
across that yet.
Yeah. Lecker says, recently Chinese netizens jokingly found out that the Huawei watch could measure pulse and blood pressure for
Of a sausage, I saw that. Yeah.
while Apple Watch couldn't. Yeah, I know, it's great.
Yeah, they like
Good
took
job,
a
Huawei.
raw sausage and they put the watch on it. It's like, oh, your 91% oxygen level and stuff. It's a sausage.
Oops. You know
it
what?
shows you.
You know,
what?
Huawei is really known for their good technology, though. I think their AI was really
Oh,
good,
that's right. Yeah.
Yes, younger and beautiful.
It's really is a. Yeah. Wait.
Wow, so good.
That's good.
That was a good one.
That's a little too much for me.
Yeah, honestly though, that's a lot of what you see in China is just it's a face thing, so it's fake.
Yeah.
They're like, we've got a very advanced watch that can measure all your stuff.
Sausage watch.
And you put it on and it says like, oh, your oxygen level's this and this, and you're like, wow, this thing's really cool. But you put on a sausage and it reads the same. It just shows you it's bullshit.
I know.
Especially Huawei stuff, dude. Because they're in a bit of a pickle because the Chinese government expects them to be high tech, expects them to be innovating and better than the rest.
Yeah.
Right? So they're kind of like,
After all the bailouts.
they're like, holy shit, we actually don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
But we have to pretend like we did.
Yeah.
You know?
It's ridiculous.
It's bad for them.
Lecker, thank you very much. Doc Saltington, here's to a better next year, fellas. Yeah, thanks.
Thank
Doc.
you. Appreciate that, man.
Jim Flagg, nice show again. See you next year. Happy New Year's. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Eastwood 400, C-Milk, your hair is always great. Thank you very much. Here's to a great 2023, guys. Awesome content as always. Appreciate that, my friend.
Yeah, C-Milk's like a hair actor.
What's that?
It's like, like actors that their hair is a big part of their, their acting.
I like to think that I'm known for my opinions.
No, but seriously.
Not my hair.
It's a big part of your character.
Half of my videos are voiceovers.
Yeah, well, those are, but people still know what you look like.
Sure. I hope it's not part of my... I'm going to shave it all off just to spite you.
You can do that,
No, I
but
look
that'll really
really
go
bad.
against your hair acting career.
Yeah. Reducing me to a man to his hair.
No, you're just a hair actor. It's a thing. Look it up. It's a thing. There are lots of actual hair actors.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Bart Simpson being one of them for sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Judas Goat Barbecue. That sounds like a local band.
Yeah.
As the old proverb says, when you have a rubber mallet, everything looks like a wooden plank.
It's just so dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Dude, like whacking on a plank with nothing in it with a rubber mallet is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love that they made him do it, and he did it with a straight face, and he wasn't like this is my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna shill, be a young person, by the way, and be like, oh, I just shilled for this money.
Be like, oh, it was hilarious.
You go back to England or America or wherever you're from, and you go to the pub and you show your friends, like, look at what an idiot, how regarded I look, right? I did this for a quick buck. You know, Chinese government's dumb to pay me to do this stuff. I didn't take it seriously. Then you laugh it off.
Sure.
These guys do it with a straight face.
And they're proud of it.
Proud of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, dude. That's the problem is when you live in China for like over a decade, but you don't stay grounded, and you everyone tells you you're handsome every day, and your Chinese is so good because you know how to say 3 words.
Yeah.
And, wow, you know how to use chopsticks, and then everyone says, you know, here's a white monkey position, but actually this is a great acting position for you.
Sure.
We think you're so respected, and you put on these false pedestals all the time. It really amps up your ego,
and you lose track of like idioms, and you get everything backwards too.
Yeah, and you lose track of what it means to just be a normal human being. So if you were ever to go back home to the West where people are normal, like normal, not that Chinese people aren't normal.
No, but you're praised
integrating
too
in society.
much.
Yeah, because you're a foreigner.
Treated too differently. You think you're special.
And then you go and you're walking down through a store and no one's looking at you. And no one's complimenting you. And no one's saying that you're amazing. And you're not getting these random gigs on state media
just because
prime
you're a
time
foreigner.
TV because you're a foreigner. It really messes with your head, I think.
Yeah.
I think it actually might ruin you as a person.
Also, you know that like rubber mallet on the wood thing? What it reminds me of are those like cargo cults.
What's that?
You know, in those like sort of primitive islands where they used to fly supplies in during like World War II in the Pacific Islands and stuff. There's some cargo cults.
Oh yeah,
and they like make
wooden radios. And
stuff.
They
make like wooden walkie-talkies because they'd see people speaking on walkie-talkies and a cargo plane would arrive. So now they make wooden ones and they sit there and they like pretend to say something because they want the gods to deliver goods. It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's just like a fake replica of something with no purpose.
With no purpose.
Yeah.
A possible person. I absolutely need to watch this not Jurassic Park movie. 1 of 50.
Yeah,
you know how many knockoffs I found? And
they're all the same story.
Yeah, my
the fact that
love this kind of stuff. Wow.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it's English is good.
I love the dub.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah,
because I'm used to watching stuff in Chinese. To see that the official dub be so bad is hilarious. And Daniels Porter. Hey Winston, opinions on Bald and Bankrupt? What happened to that guy? Didn't he like stop?
He got into trouble in Russia. And then he like I don't watch his stuff. I do know who he is though.
I watched a couple of his videos back in the day because I was interested in like Siberia.
Yeah,
I
mean he was really doing that whole thing well. He spoke the language. He went around. From what I saw, I can't really speak because I don't know him too well. But I know that he got into trouble, and then his interview came out with the Russian police where he basically blamed the West and blamed YouTube and stuff and blamed, and he said these things, but he had to worm his way out.
He got to do it.
Yeah, so and then he obviously realized it was time to stop.
Gotcha.
Because I mean, I think his brand was Russia, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Like a huge part of his brand was traveling around all those
Eastern Europe, at least.
So that's just like kind of cut him out of that. And he probably realized he pushed it too far.
Gotcha.
I think he did his thing. He probably made a ton of money and he really enjoyed it. And he's probably just retired. That's all I know about the guy.
Seemed interesting.
Yeah.
Where are we here? Yeah, I don't know enough about him though.
Yeah.
Ridiculous Russia plane with Top Gun Chinese characteristics.
Yeah.
Raylin says, are Blondie in China, Miriam in China, and Dain Xin Xiaoge all working for the government? I don't think so. I'm not going to comment on that. You can come up with your own conclusions. But if you're allowed to film in China and you're getting sponsored for tours to doing things, and just think about it. Just think about it.
Absolutely. Blondie in China is tied to a lot of the shills stuff she's appeared with a lot of the shills together.
I'll say this. I saw her on CCTV.
Yeah,
I saw her on stage.
She absolutely does all the sponsored tours and stuff. So she's definitely part of that crew, so to speak. The others I don't actually know.
I mean, but take with it what you will. I mean, is she saying malicious things on state media?
Probably not.
That's different, right? Yeah. Is she taking state media gigs because she wants to promote her channel and she wants to do food stuff? Maybe.
Yeah.
Is she saying that there's no Uyghur genocide? I don't think so, right? So there's a difference between that.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, that's how you can really see if it's a malicious shill or not. Yeah. If they're doing genocide, denial, propaganda, or just, but the thing is, I know that she does a lot of poverty alleviation and stuff, though.
I haven't seen that. I can't talk on that.
Yeah, there's a reason we don't mention her is because she's not
it's not malicious.
What do you call it? Like a malignant, benign. She's benign. Yeah. She's benign shill.
Yeah, I mean, she can do what she wants.
Yeah.
If she starts denying the genocide and she starts saying that Xi Jinping is great and that Chinese people already have enough freedom or something like that, then I have a massive problem.
Yeah.
All right, that's that. I don't have a problem until then.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Are we done?
Yep.
Wow. Guys, thank you so much for sticking through today's show. We're so happy to have you here. It's going to be New Year's Eve in a day or two. Please stay safe. I don't know. Just tell me, like, is it a very dangerous time in America?
No.
Okay. Because it is in South Africa.
Why?
Everyone gets just
wasted. New Year's is not that
and
big.
they fire guns and they like, don't go to downtown Joburg, you'll die. Okay, but like, you know,
yeah, New Year's is not as big of a deal.
People get wrecked, and so like there's lots of car accidents.
Yeah, like if you're downtown, like in a bar heavy area, be careful, obviously. If you're, hanging out in your backyard, don't worry about it. But like if you're driving around and like outside of like the bar street, then you're probably gonna have issues, right?
Right, I got you. Yeah, but it's super. So like New Year's Eve for me has always been it's time to kind of hunker down and stay safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So stay safe, guys, no matter where you are. But have a good time.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I hope you guys are hanging out with friends and whatever, family. Have a great time.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in 2023 with a lot of changes. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, we can't wait.
But most importantly, we'll see you guys on Monday.
Yeah.
On...
Oh, Shaban Ho. So you go to patreon.com/ADV podcasts and you can catch us there. If you're part of the Shaban Ho tier.
I promise you guys won't regret it.
No.
You'll love it.
No, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It always is. It's our favorite time of the week.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time, guys, stay awesome. And I will try not to cut myself off. Do you think I could do it this time?
I think you can.
Let's try it out. 5,